Pooja, are we good to go, beta?
Yes, sir.
Jyoti, are we good to go?
Sir, just 1 second and then yes.
And please take Maya Hande, madam, because even she is joining, Jyoti, madam.
Sir, yes, we are good to go. Please go ahead.
Yes, Pooja, please start.
Good morning, everyone. I would request everyone if you could just open your cameras. It would be great to see a few fresh faces over here. A very good morning to one and all present here. I, Pooja Tiwari, class representative of Mcom Part 2, welcomes you all today on this online workshop, Designing a Research Dissertation for Mcom Students and Research Scholars, organized by PG Department of Lala Lajpat Rai College of Commerce and Economics, jointly with Vivek College of Commerce and in collaboration with University of Mumbai under the aegis of IQAC. Research plays a crucial role in one's life.
1 minute, Pooja, there is a message from someone that Pooja is not audible. Tuba Siddiqui, I think, but I can hear very well. Tuba, you just see at your end if there is some network issue.
Okay, ma'am, I'll just cross check.
Audible, yeah.
Now, ma'am.
Pooja, you go ahead. There is no error from your side. It is from their side. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the disruptions. Research plays a crucial role in one's life as it helps you to pursue your interest to learn something new, to hone problems, and to challenge yourself in new ways. One of the most prominent reasons to engage in research is to enhance your knowledge. The whole process of research opens new doors of learning and literary growth. And in today's workshop, we are going to have an en route towards the research design for any research problem in the respective domains. So without any delay, let's get started with the session. On this note, I request our principal, Dr. Neelam Arora ma'am, to give her welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Dr. Vijeta Shetty, and glad to collaborate with Vivek College once again under the PG department activity related to research dissertation. As we all know that research, as Pooja said, is a very important aspect. And now with the new education policy coming up around the corner, research and credits for research work is going to be very important. And it is research which generates original ideas and helps to solve so many problems which need to be answered. But I see often that Mcom students, I fully agree with the problems they face, that they really find it difficult to do research and analyze the data. So this research guidance lecture by Paulami Sarkar, I'm sure is going to be very enlightening and is going to give them a direction. It will help them understand how the research is done. Normally what we see when we get these Mcom projects, that students just cut, copy, paste, pick up some pictures from the net, though they infringe all copyrights. They do not use much of their own inputs, which everybody is capable of. If we all put our heads together, we can imagine, we can find answers to many questions. So if we follow a right path, we can interpret the data and we can find solutions to many problems. The internet can guide us, can help us. Literature review can give us an idea how others have gone about doing it. But it does not mean we have to just cut, copy, paste and not use any of our own resources and so on. So I'm sure this lecture organized by the PG department of Lala Lajpat Rai College in collaboration with Vivek College is going to be a very enlightening session. I congratulate and thank Dr. Rahul Shetty for taking this initiative. And I hope this lecture and this guidance will give our students a direction to follow in the right path. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind and encouraging words. Now, I would request the principal of Vivek College, Dr. Vijeta Shetty, ma'am, to give her opening remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. A very good morning once again. It's really an honor to collaborate with Lala Lajpat Rai College for this very apt and required online workshop on designing a research project dissertation for Mcom students and also for research scholars. I agree with what Principal Dr. Neelam Arora Madam has to say, that we have a culture of copy and cut and paste and cut, copy and paste. So what I want to tell everybody is, with this, the idea or the essence of conducting this workshop should be curious, be correct, and follow the right path. So it should be curious, correct, and path rather than cut, copy, and paste. So this is our, this should be the outcome of the workshop. And as Madam has rightly said, that the essence of research is to find out something new. So with this workshop, I'm sure a lot of the PG students will be benefited. Once again, I congratulate the Mcom coordinators, especially Dr. Rahul Shetty, for spearheading this initiative. And I also welcome our own Mcom coordinator, CA Mr. Pradeep Hathi, for this workshop, for jointly organizing this workshop. Best wishes to the entire team. And I look forward to collaborate once again in future too for all such workshops with the Lala Lajpat Rai College. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Yes, we look forward to more such collaboration.
Yes.
But I think jointly there is synergy.
Exactly.
And
I always
do much, but collaboration means two intelligent heads makes it 11. 1 plus 1 becomes 11. So we should look forward to joining hands for future endeavors.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Vijeta, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Vijeta.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful words. Now, I would like to request our Mcom coordinator, Dr. Rahul Shetty, sir, to introduce our resource person for today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pooja. Firstly, a very good morning and a warm welcome to principals of both the colleges for sparing their valuable time, and that too on a Sunday. Secondly, I would also like to thank all my PG students for being there on a Sunday. It's for y'all, and it's always for y'all, because Sunday y'all can't give us excuses that y'all are working today. That's the reason Sunday was aptly chosen for this workshop, and that too online, so nobody need to come to their colleges and attend the same. Okay. On this note, I would like to introduce our resource person who is joining us from Calcutta. So truly it is a national workshop, because she is from Calcutta and joining us from there. So it's indeed my honor and privilege both to introduce our resource person, Dr. Poulami Sarkar Madam. She is an assistant professor at Kirti College of Arts, Science and Commerce Autonomous, a PhD holder in the domain of trade, transport and industry, and a rank holder in her UG and PG years. Madam has been a gold medalist at MPhil and has received the Best Research Paper Awards at various national and international conferences. A recipient of Saurabh Shivare Young Researcher Award at 33rd National Conference organized by Maharashtra State Conference Commerce Teachers Association, is truly a feather on her cap at a very young age. She has to her credit numerous national, international and UGC articles published in journals of high repute, a life member of All India Commerce Association and Maharashtra State Commerce Teachers Association, a certificate holder for various research endeavors at Elsevier and various research academies. She is truly, I think, the right person whom we can ask for to conduct this workshop. On this note, I would like to highlight one phrase which was given by Mr. Terry Pratchett, which says that the best research you can do is to talk to people. And I sincerely feel when the constraints are shared and discussed on common platform like this, we can definitely generate a quality output contributing to the quantum of research aptitude, especially by the postgraduate students. On this note, I welcome Paulami Madam once again and request her to take over the session. Over to you, Paulami.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a great welcome. And uh, I just don't have words to say. And yes, good morning to both the principals of both the colleges and to all of you who are attending this workshop or guest lecture, whatever you call it as. I would just start by sharing my slides in the PPT. And if there's a network error, I might have to pause my video, but the audio will be there. So,
not a problem, Paulami. You may share your slide.
yes, sir. Is it visible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Both okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we are starting with the topic of designing a research project dissertation for Mcom students and research scholars. Now, coming over here, we all know what is research, so I'm not going to go in details of what is research. So, research is nothing but where you're going to again and again search on certain topics, but that will when you search and keep it to yourself, that doesn't help the society or doesn't work as a research what we talk about. Academic research doesn't work in that manner. So somewhere you have to establish those facts, somewhere you have to create knowledge, somewhere you have to give that knowledge to someone else who requires it. So that we do by publishing papers or journals, or as you all write, dissertations and theses. So that's a part. Now coming to this slide, I want to talk a brief about this slide because types of research. Without this, we can't go ahead. So types of research in the basic sense, we will call it in only two types, where you have a scientific type of research and where you have a social science of research. Now, when I say scientific type of research, that is generally related to all natural sciences, all physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, all the science stream. Or we can also talk about space explorations like we have seen for Chandrayaan 3 and all of it. So that part is your scientific research. Now, coming to what we as commerce students or commerce faculties or management students you would be doing, that is generally a social science research. Now social science is always going to deal with human behavior, human nature, their tendencies, because you're going to interact with them. If you are having to have a primary data collection, so primary data collection will always require some type of interaction between the human beings, between people. So automatically what we conduct is going to be the social science research, where we are going to take opinions. Maybe it can be in the form of satisfaction, decision thinking, it can be in the form of behavior, in forms of interview, in forms of questionnaire. So all of that is going to be your social science research that generally we conduct. Now, I'll tell you why we require this type of research in your dissertation, because you need to tell them what type exactly have you conducted. Now, for that matter of fact, we have very few basics. Now, basics and applied. Now, when you talk about basic research, that is where you just gain the knowledge and you keep it to yourself. Like today, if I give you an example that where was the World Cup held? Now, where was the World Cup held? Anyone can Google the Cricket World Cup. Anyone can Google and get an information. Now, you got an information, but you did not apply that information somewhere. Now, if I tell you, you have been called for, let's talk about KBC. And KBC में 5 साल के बाद यही सवाल किया गया कि in 2023, where was the Cricket World Cup held? And you applied the same knowledge which you searched in this year, that is somewhere is your applied research बोल सकते हैं हम लोग. But obviously when we talk about research, there has to be some documentation, there has to be some written validations, authenticity to it. So automatically for that you will require certain quantities, certain things which again cannot be quantified, then they have to be qualified. Now when I talk about that preferences, now can we tell that preference number 1 was a male, preference number 2 was a female? How do you categorize that 1 and 2? Male ko pehle aana chahiye, female ko baad mein aana chahiye, because they are equal. So you can't categorize. So there will be some type of qualitativeness in the questions, as well as quantities. When you talk about numbers, when you talk about the GDP, when you talk about maybe number of people, or you're talking about someone's age factor, income factor, all of they are going to fall under the quantitative part of the research. Now next, coming to the part is descriptive and exploratory. Now description will be there for all of our researches, like whether you start with a basic Mcom research, whether you start with a graduation research, you talk about a research paper, a PhD thesis, every type of research will have description in it, because without certain information, without a background study, you cannot have a research which is going to move ahead, or which is going to have a futuristic aspect in it. So automatically description is going to be required by all of us, whether it's a small research or a very big research, whether it is a scientific research or a social science research. Now coming to the part of exploratory research, that is something very different, because explore, when you are trying to explore a new fact or a new thing, like as we spoke about the first event of we talking about Mangalyaan. So that was the first event where that Mars was explored by ISRO. So that was a exploratory type of research. But over here, when we talk about social science research, it is really very less that we do an exploratory research, because somewhere we will have background to it. There is a background, and on that basis of background, we are going to explore new facts. When you explore a new fact, only then it becomes an exploratory research. Otherwise, it will never become an exploratory research. Now, coming to the last part, that is analytical and empirical. Now, analytical is where you analyze. So you have a primary data collection, you have a questionnaire, and you are supposed to have an analysis of all the questions, all the samples that you have collected. Now, empirical में क्या होगा? Empirical में observations होने वाले हैं. There can be interviews, there can be experiments that you are doing. So all that can be a part of empirical. So if you have, I really don't know whether you've seen it or not, but you go into big shopping malls, like if you go to Phoenix or if you go to Inorbit, such kind of shopping malls, you might find certain shops or certain showrooms have people who are standing and taking an count of the customers that they have come, taking account of what type of choices they are making. They directly don't come and ask you कि अच्छा आपको ये पसंद है, नहीं पसंद है, ये आप खरीदना चाहते हो, नहीं चाहते हो. There are some people who are just observing you. Now, basis of that observation, what they write down, that can also be explained in a research. The observations of maybe the purchasing pattern of those customers. So that falls under the empirical research. Previously, we talked about analytical research, where you take account of the questions, where you ask a person that do you like this particular shirt, or do you like the variety, do you like the color, do you like the quantity, price tag, price is proper or not, is it worth purchasing it? So you are asking questions and getting it. So that when you analyze it, it is a part of analytical research. Similarly, empirical is where you observe, and you can also have an experiment. You can provide free samples, and you can see that who is purchasing which free sample, and from there you can also have a research which will be a part of empirical research. Now this was there in the PPT, so I did not remove this. Now stages in research process. Now really we won't be having so much of time to explain this, but this is the basics that you already might have learned, that you need to have a research problem or a statement or a topic that you have thought. Then you do a lot of reviews, a lot of literature study. Then you set up your objectives, your hypothesis. You create a design or a plan how you are going to go ahead with it in the next 2-3 months. Then you create a questionnaire, sample design, data collection, then analysis, testing of hypothesis, and you prepare the report, entire report. So that is just a simple process. Now basic part, we come to your projects, like how you need to prepare. So first of all, whichever background you are from, like whether you're from Mcom accountancy, whether you're from Mcom marketing management, you're from human resource, you're from IT Mcom, whichever Mcom segment you belong, please try and select your topic in that area. Why that is a reason I would tell you is, there is better job perspectives when you tell that you have actually done a research in your study area. When you say that I have studied accountancy but I have done a project in marketing, so there is no relation in it, that okay, you studied accountancy but you were favoring topics for marketing. So generally there is no as such relation with that. So preferably you should go with your elective courses, like the courses that you have chosen, the topics that they are your favorite subjects. You should go about with those areas for your selection of topics. Then obviously you will be given a guide. The supervisor who is going to guide you. But certain details that I would want to mention is, when you're preparing the dissertation, the look is also very important. At times we feel that the quality matters. I agree totally. Quality matters. But somewhere the presentation also matters. So therefore, all these details are given to you, that you have to put it in Times New Roman. The font that you use is Times New Roman. Inside, when you are writing a content, it should be 12. Subtitles can be 14 and the headlines can be 16. Similarly, you have a line space aspect where you have 1.5 for the content, 1.5 with the line spacing, and 1 would be for the tables that you create. Again, it is going to be an A4 size paper. Generally, it is supposed to be an executive bond. You do get executive off-white color pages also and white color pages also. So preference is yours, whatever you want to do. Margin is very, very important, because at times we have seen it. I'm telling you from my experience that when you put a border, the border is different and margin is different. So margin given or prescribed by Mumbai University is that left side you are supposed to have 1.5 inches. Now there's a reason to it. Always there are reasons to what things are being told. So 1.5 inches जरूरत है, because आपका book binding होने वाला है और binding में वो आधा इंच का space लगने वाले हैं. So therefore 1.5 on your left hand side should be there, left hand side of the page, and remaining all the other sides, top, bottom and right side, can be 1 inches. Now once you place a border, I mean to say, once you place a border from the Microsoft, it doesn't fall under that 1.5 inch and 1 inch. It will have its own half-inch border. So please try avoiding putting borders to it, and try putting the content in this 1.5 1.5 on the left hand side and the remaining sides on the right 1 inch side. Now coming to it, it has to be binded. It's a black color book where you write with a golden embossing. 80 to 100 pages is expected out of you. Because it is generally told that a research cannot be limited or constrained to certain number of pages. So we do give a liberty of 80 to 100 pages. Now, title selection or topic selection should be from your interest, from your passion. You should keep talking to your seniors. You should talk to experts or maybe your professors, maybe to your supervisors, your guides. You can also talk to your friends from other colleges. What type of references can be taken, what type of topics can be selected. You can go online and search for topics. You can also take recent topics that are going on in this society or in this environment. So anything, but again, I would suggest you that try and select a topic which is from your field of study, from your elective courses of study, that will actually help you in the further process of getting a job, in the further process of maybe higher studies, where you can define yourself saying that I have done a project in my area and therefore I want to pursue my further studies in the same area. So they actually help you out when you select your own elective topic. Now coming to this format I'll be explaining towards the end. Is just there, and I hope so everyone, it will be shared with all of you, the format. So we just come to the part that what do you start with? You start with a summary. Now when I say you start with a summary, please do not take it for a matter that आपको पहले summary लिखना है. नहीं, we will go backwards. So summary is something which in the presentation of your dissertation, you should have summary in the beginning. But while you're going to write down summary, that should be at the end of your dissertation, because at the end of the dissertation you will be clear with what objectives you had, what are your research methodology, the results and the findings that you had, and what was the importance of study. Everything is possible only at the end of your dissertation. So what you do is you prepare the entire dissertation and then you go back and write the summary, even though summary and abstract will be on the first page of your dissertation. Before your introduction to your topic, you are supposed to have an executive summary. But summary you should always write in the end, because it is not possible to write a summary without knowing what methodologies you're going to use, what tests you're going to use, what type of results you're going to have. So it is not possible. And summary, please try to be very, very precise about it. Do not write too many things in the summary, because summary is something which should be very attractive, which should be maybe a paragraph or a two, and it should be very attractive so that the person reads your dissertation. The main point of a summary is where you're attracting the person to read the entire dissertation. If you write every detailed information in the summary, no one is going to turn the remaining pages and see what you have written exactly, because they already got the entire importance in the summary. So summary should have topics, objectives, research methodology, results, significance of the study, but in a manner so that they are bound to read the remaining thesis, or at least bound to turn the pages and see what you have actually done. So that is the part of the summary. So it should be really, really attractive. It should engage the readers in reading your entire dissertation. And again, there is a point that I've written: do not make it an essay, because like we have seen, most of the students have a very generic idea of making it as a essay. They just write it that we started with this so and so introduction, and then we went about with the review of literature, we went with this objectives. So that becomes an essay. You are not supposed to write an essay. You are supposed to write the research summary, the executive summary of your research. And trust me when I say this, there is a part that you might think that 80 pages or 100 pages अगर आपको लिखना है without cut copy paste, then there are going to be things which are going to get repeated. There are going to be things that you might to keep on again and again. You have to write it because they are also important. So at that point of time, what you do, you write the text which is repeating but in a different manner. Try and be very much aware about paraphrasing. Try and be very proactive with different synonyms and antonyms which you can use. Start using words which are very similar to those words, so that it doesn't feel that you have repeated the sentence, so that it doesn't feel that you have repeated the text. So repeating of text is okay, but try and putting it in different manner, so that the same sentence doesn't get repeated again and again. Because once, if you see first paragraph having the sentence, you go to the chapter of introduction, you have the same sentence, you will feel what is this kind of a dissertation. First summary में भी यही sentence था, introduction में भी यही sentence है. Your objectives in the summary was the same as your main objective. So what do? You summarize. What do? You present it in different manner. You paraphrase the words. You change the synonym of the words. Keep the context same, keep the meaning same, but change the different words, change the synonyms, and it is valid, it is possible to work like that. Then only you will be able to cross for that 80-100 pages. Otherwise, making an A4 size mein 12 font size ka 80 pages is not a matter of joke. It's not easy. As you think it is going to be easy, it is not easy. And generally, when we talk about research, you do not really have images of certain particular thing. You might have datas, informations, but not as such images. You can't just put a diagram. You just can't put any type of any maybe if you're talking on some environmental issues, you just can't put a pollution ka photo. Just can't put maybe waste management ka photo. It's not possible, because it's a research where you are supposed to perform the research, where photos will not as such matter. So therefore, writing 80 pages, you might feel that things needs to be repeated. It's okay to repeat it, but always repeat in a different manner. Now, coming to it, I have also mentioned last point as 3 to 5 keywords. Now, at your level, you might not understand why you are supposed to put a keyword, and you might put very generic keywords, but try putting a keyword which will be relevant. Because at times when we perform research, you are supposed to upload a soft copy online somewhere on some website on with some collaborations, and on Google when you're searching, I don't know how much of you search for Google pay on for research topics, but if you start searching, and if I give you a very simple topic, that मान लो COVID. Now COVID is a keyword. So if you had a topic related to COVID in your research, then put that keyword COVID. Then even your research paper, which you have uploaded online, might come in that search. And that is very, very important. So therefore, choose your keywords very, very definitely. 3 to 5 keywords, but choose it very definitely, so that it is a very common word and your research appears on the Google once you have uploaded it. Because once we upload it on Google, or once we upload on certain platforms like ResearchGate, Academia, or you are uploading somewhere, Shodh Ganga, anywhere you are going to upload your research. After that, what happens is your research is never viewed. Your research is never cited. आपका research इतना अच्छा था पर किसी ने देखा तक नहीं. देखने के लिए, publicize करने के लिए, promote करने के लिए, you require those keywords. That 3 to 5 keywords is required for that. And choose keywords very appropriately. If you have a topic based on financial performance of maybe steel industry. So financial performance of steel industry. Now, financial performance is a very, very important keyword. So that जब आप ये keyword डालो, ऐसा होना चाहिए that those people who are searching for financial performance should be able to see and view your research papers or your dissertations. Then only you will be getting that promotion. You will get those citations. So therefore, keywords also are very, very important. Now coming to the part of introduction, I'm not going to go ahead with introduction, because you have to write about the study area, the characteristics of that particular thing, the background of the problem, why did you even select such kind of a problem, all of that is required. Now coming to this is the most important thing. So this is research methodology, objectives, hypothesis, scope of the study. All of this is very important. Now we'll move ahead because all these topics have been taken into account in the next slides. So we'll see the objectives. Now generally what do we write is the last two. Last two में क्या था? To understand the concept, to suggest. ज्यादातर ना लोग यही लिखते हैं, but this cannot be the objectives of your study. Now I will definitely tell you why. To study the concept cannot be your objective, because when you're studying a concept, that means you are doing review of literature or literature study. Therefore, to understand a concept cannot be a part of your objectives of the study. आपके research का objective कभी नहीं हो सकता है कि I want to understand the concept. उस concept समझने के लिए आपको पुराने पास्ट रिव्यूज करना जरूरी है, पास्ट पेपर्स पढ़ना जरूरी है, पास्ट रिसर्च के बारे में जानना जरूरी है, एंड दैट इज नथिंग बट रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. सो देयरफॉर टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट इज नेवर योर ऑब्जेक्टिव. एंड द लास्ट वन दैट इज टू सजेस्ट. Suggestions, recommendations cannot be your objectives. Your objectives of research should be to perform it. And once you want to perform it, then you use words like to determine, to study, to compare, to analyze, to identify the difference or the relation, to predict or forecast. Now, similarly, I will try and go on to another part, which is just there. And I would just like to show you certain things. And now this is a research paper of mine, which I'm just showing. Now, how do you write an objective? If you see, I hope it's visible, the PDF. Yes or no? Anyone
No,
who could
Pallavi.
reply?
No, it is not visible. I think you need to switch off the slide and then go to the research.
Okay, okay. Is it visible now?
Yes. Now it's visible. I think it's visible to
Yes.
everybody. I request everybody to put up be interactive through your chat boxes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you see, the objective is not written in a paragraph. Generally, what we see there, everyone writes in a paragraph. My objective of the study was to learn about the Indian tourism industry and its trends and the statistic provided by the government of Indian tourism, Ministry of Tourism. So it's written in a paragraph. You never write objectives in a paragraph. You always write the objectives. So firstly, when you write an headline, it's already written objective of the study. Then the next thing comes is to study the trends of the Indian tourism industry. A very simple objective I had. And the next one is to study the impact of COVID-19 on the travel perceptions of the travelers. Now, when you prepare an objective, you are supposed to have a relation with the data analysis and the hypothesis. So अभी कैसे करना है? पहले ऑब्जेक्टिव बनाया, ऑब्जेक्टिव को हाइपोथेसिस से रिलेट करो. Now relate करने के लिए पहला जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है over here which you can see, to study the trend of Indian tourism industry. Now this objective is not a primary objective. It's a secondary data related objective because Indian tourism industry का trend statistics already given by government of India hai, already given by certain ministries, have certain tourism councils have given those data. So that is not a primary study. That is a part of secondary study. Now we come to the primary part of the study. Primary के लिए second objective है to study the impact of COVID-19 on travel perception of travelers. Now इसके लिए I have prepared a hypothesis. Now hypothesis मैं what did I do? Simple. Null hypothesis बनाया, alternative hypothesis बनाया. Null hypothesis was what? The first one, H0, which is there is no significant difference. So what did I try to mention? So first and foremost, impact of COVID-19 और travel perception of travelers था. So उसके लिए मैंने दो चीजें टेक आउट किया. एक, frequency of tours undertaken before and after COVID. So COVID के पहले लोग कितना घूमने जाते थे, कितना फ्रीक्वेंसी, मतलब कितने बार एक साल में घूमने जाते थे, एंड कोविड के बाद कितने बार घूमने जा रहे. ओके, सो दैट was the sequence where I mentioned that there is no difference. पहले भी जितने बार जाते थे, अभी भी जितने बार जा रहे हैं, दोनों सेम है. So that was my null hypothesis. Secondly, what did I do? I prepared an alternative hypothesis to it. Alternative में मैंने क्या बताया? There is a significant difference. मतलब पहले लोग जितना घूमने जाते थे और अभी जितना घूमने जा रहे हैं, दोनों में बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस है. तो I prepared एक ही हाइपोथेसिस का दो सेगमेंट्स, एक नल हाइपोथेसिस और एक ऑल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस. अब जब मेरा हाइपोथेसिस बन के रेडी हो गया, तो अभी मुझे क्वेश्चन सोचना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट क्वेश्चन शुड आई बी आस्किंग. तो पहला क्वेश्चन ये हो सकता है द बेसिक क्वेश्चंस ऑफ डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल, एज, जेंडर, एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन, ऑक्यूपेशन, इनकम, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. नाउ आफ्टर दैट ये हाइपोथेसिस प्रूव करने के लिए क्वेश्चन चाहिए मुझे, और इसके लिए व्हाट डू आई रिक्वायर? फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स अंडरटेकन बाय पीपल. अब फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स अंडरटेकन बाय पीपल विल बी व्हाट? बिफोर भी चाहिए, आफ्टर भी चाहिए. तो दो क्वेश्चन इधर ही बनता है मेरा, दैट फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स अंडरटेकन बिफोर कोविड-19, फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स अंडरटेकन आफ्टर कोविड-19. तो दो क्वेश्चन इधर ही बन गया. अब ये जो दो क्वेश्चन बना है, इसको हम एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं. नाउ आई विल कम टू दिस रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी लेटर ऑन. आई विल जस्ट शो यू. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव जो हमने बनाया था, ट्रेंड ऑफ द इंडियन टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री. दैट ट्रेंड यू नीड टू प्रूव समवेयर, यू नीड टू राइट इट समवेयर. यू ऑलवेज, जो भी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आप बनाओगे, सारे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आपको प्रूव करना है, और प्रूव करने के लिए आपको डेटा रिक्वायरमेंट्स रहेंगे. सो इफ यू सी trend analysis of Indian tourism statistics that I have done. So Indian tourism government ने क्या किया था? ये absolute figures and values दिए थे. 2018, 19, 19, 20, 2021. This was actually a research of 2021. That's the reason उतना तक का ही डेटा है इसमें. तो ये सारे values हमें मिले थे. तो what did I prepare? I prepared the trend percentages. Now, obviously, people who are accounts and who are studying management accounting, they already know कि trend analysis आप कैसे निकालते हो. Simple. Trend का जो आपके formulas होते हैं, वही formula से आप trend analysis निकालोगे. And what did you do? You created your own ऑब्जेक्टिव, एंड उस ऑब्जेक्टिव को आपने डिफाइन कर दिया, उस ऑब्जेक्टिव को आपने प्रूव भी कर दिया बाय पुटिंग दिस टेबल, the data which have been collected from government. Even that can be done. Next, what did we have? Second, हमारा जो ऑब्जेक्टिव था, इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कोविड-19 ऑन ट्रैवल परसेप्शन ऑफ ट्रैवलर, उसके ऊपर डेटा एनालिसिस करना है. ना ऑब्वियसली उसके लिए थियोरिटिकल पार्ट्स तो आपको स्टडी करके लिखना ही है. नाउ व्हाट क्वेश्चंस डिड आई टेक? I told you that दो क्वेश्चंस तो हमारे बन ही गए थे, हाइपोथेसिस थे. वन वाज फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स बिफोर कोविड एंड वन वाज फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ टूर्स आफ्टर कोविड. और एक छोटा सा डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल था विच वाज जेंडर. उसके अलावा आई डिड नॉट टेक एनीथिंग बिकॉज दिस वाज अ रिसर्च पेपर, नॉट अ dissertation or a thesis. Then what did I go ahead with? I went ahead with certain important attributes for traveling to any destination after COVID-19. Matlab, I wanted to see the differences that have happened. So now what happened after, this research was after COVID-19, 2021 में ये रिसर्च किया गया था. So by default, at that point of time, every single people in their mindset had that hygiene बराबर होना चाहिए, सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी मेजर्स होना चाहिए, We will travel to areas which are less crowded. We do not want to travel in areas which are crowded. Comfort hona chahiye, convenience hona chahiye. Now, from where did I get all these attributes or factors? These factors, when you are doing your literature review, you will find certain variables, you will find certain factors, you will find certain components जो आपके research में relate करते हैं. तो वो आपको study करने के बाद भी ही मिलने वाले हैं. एंड ये मुझे स्टडी करने के बाद मिला था. एज वेल एज आई ऑल्सो चेक द वेबसाइट्स ऑफ WHO. उन्होंने जो प्रोटोकॉल्स दिए थे फॉर COVID-19 ट्रैवल प्लान्स के लिए, सो दोज फ्रॉम देयर आई हैव कलेक्टेड द 3 एट्रीब्यूट्स. अब 3 एट्रीब्यूट्स को मैंने क्या किया, डिफाइन किया. दैट एक्सटेंसिव हाइजीन एंड सेफ्टी मेजर्स आपको चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए. सिंपल में आई कुड हैव आस्क्ड yes, no, do you agree or don't agree, but let us put it into a 5-point scale. 5-point scale में जब हम बनाएंगे तो it became as extremely important. So what did I say? That hygiene and safety is extremely important. Do you agree to that? So people said, 82 people said that yes, they agree to that fact. It is extremely important. Few of them said, 31 people said that important and not very extreme, but important hai. And the remaining few said that 20 people said moderately important hai. किसी ने ऐसा नहीं कहा not at all important, because of course COVID scenario था, तो किसी ने नहीं कहा कि that is not important for them. So everyone said it is very, very important. Now, calculating the frequency is very simple, right? I hope everyone knows it. How do you calculate frequency? That is, जितने लोगों ने आपको बताया extremely important है, that is 82. You just divided by 133, the total number that you collected, multiplied by 100. You just get a percentage. Okay, I'll show you also. अगर नहीं मिल रहा है कैसे निकालना है, that also I'll show you. So that's how you calculate a simple percentage. Okay, simple frequency and percentage in your research. And then what do you do? Nothing. Making a paragraph and explaining it. That out of a total 133 respondents, 74 of them were males and rest 59 respondents were female. If you check the data also says the same. 74 of them were male and 59 of them were female. So you just need to explain and write that. That's so simple. So what do? First, you select your topic, you do a lot of literature review, you prepare objectives. Objectives से आपके hypothesis बनने चाहिए, and hypothesis ऐसा बनना चाहिए जिसका questions होने चाहिए. Required है that you put a hypothesis that should have a valid question जिसको आप proof कर पाओ. Okay, and similar to that, then you start preparing a questionnaire and you start getting data collected. And data collection को आपको क्या करना है? Frequency and percentage में divide करना है. इतना ही काम है फिलहाल के लिए. Then we would further proceed back to our PPT because we will see that what else can we do. So I hope that objectives is clear to you, that you do not put objectives like understand, suggestions. So you don't put such kind of objective. You put objectives like to study, to compare, to analyze, to identify a difference. If you see there was a difference in the impact of COVID-19, so हम identify करना चाहते थे. So all of that is a requirement. Now coming to the next part, that is hypothesis. Now, very, very importantly, we all see this. If you see over here, hypothesis and hypothesis. So SIS and SES. Okay. So HYPOTHESIS is for single. It's a singular hypothesis. जो अभी मैंने आपको PDF दिखाया था रिसर्च पेपर का, that has a single hypothesis. भले ही उसका alternative है and null hypothesis है, but it is a single hypothesis. Okay, so you are supposed to write SIS. not SES. SES is plural and it is for more than one hypothesis. That also I will show you. More than one hypothesis. Same manner आपको prepare करना है. एक और null और एक और alternative बनेगा आपका. So that becomes दो hypothesis. दो बना तो it becomes SES hypothesis. Because the headline matters. Trust me, when you're writing a headline and the headline has a mistake with a singular and a plural, then the supervisor or the external examiner might feel that आपको basic concept भी नहीं पता है कि hypothesis singular होता है and ये plural होता है, ES वाला plural होता है. So automatic that basic concept, please do not make a mistake in that spelling. Because spelling is very very important. Presentation, as I told you, quality जितना matter करता है, presentation भी उतना ही matter करता है. And hypothesis बहुत precise and clear होना चाहिए. If you see, the hypothesis that I showed you was very precise, very clear. कि क्या exactly चाहिए? हमें frequency चाहिए before COVID, after COVID. इतना ही, nothing else. Simple term में define करो. Very important. Do not try to use any fancy words, any grammatically very fluent English you want. Not required. Very simple, basic language में लिखो. Very much appropriate होने वाला है. Now, हाइपोथेसिस जो आप बनाओगे वो दोनों में टेस्ट हो सकता है, प्राइमरी डेटा में भी और सेकेंडरी डेटा में भी. एंड ट्रस्ट मी व्हेन आई से दिस, ओके, बिकॉज लोगों को लगता है दैट सेकेंडरी डेटा मतलब मैंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट किया फ्रॉम बुक्स, फ्रॉम इंटरनेट, फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट, फ्रॉम मे बी सर्टेन अदर ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट से कलेक्ट किया तो हमारा हाइपोथेसिस बनता नहीं है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. Hypothesis can be made for secondary data also. That also I'll show you secondary data का hypothesis कैसे बनता है and उसका भी हम टेस्ट कर सकते हैं. Secondary data can also be tested. If you are thinking that secondary data सिर्फ information होता है जो हमें लिखना पड़ता है, no, secondary data can also be tested. So therefore primary and secondary data का अगर आप hypothesis जो भी बनाओगे, that hypothesis should be tested. Hypothesis सिर्फ बनाने के लिए मत बनाओ. And simple logic I will give you. A very simple logic that I have learned from my research background, that is हाइपोथेसिस आप कब बनाते हो? सब लोगों के लिए हाइपोथेसिस बनाना भी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. नॉट नेसेसरी दैट हर एक थीसिस में हाइपोथेसिस होना चाहिए, हर एक डेजर्टेशन में हाइपोथेसिस होना चाहिए, हर एक रिसर्च पेपर में हाइपोथेसिस होना चाहिए. नॉट नेसेसरी. आई विल गिव यू अ सिंपल एग्जांपल एंड इसके लिए आई रिक्वायर पीपल टू मैसेज मी और चैट बॉक्स में या फिर लेट मी नो what you feel. Okay, so we keep two fruits in front of you. One which is मान लो it is a banana and one which is a watermelon. Okay, now you need to tell me, can you eat a banana without cutting it? Yes or no? Just reply. Can you eat a banana without cutting it? Cutting matlab cutting with a knife. Is it possible to eat a banana without cutting with a knife? Yes, okay, I'm getting answers, which is yes, yes, yes. Now tell me, is it possible to eat a watermelon without cutting it? मतलब बाहर से खा सकते हैं हम उसको बाइट करके? Okay, then I've got answers. No, no, no. Yes, right. So, what is happening when you have a simple data analysis? At that point of time, you do not require hypothesis. अगर बहुत simple है, that I want to know कितने लोग मेल है कितने लोग फीमेल है. आई वॉन्ट टू नो आपको कॉफी पसंद है या चाय पसंद है. आई वॉन्ट टू नो मे बी दैट डू यू प्रेफर would you prefer in future to study in MBA or you would want to go into some other field or you are going to go in some research background. So they are simple questions. जब ऐसे सिंपल क्वेश्चंस होते हैं ना तब हाइपोथेसिस इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज आप जो एनालिसिस कर रहे हो वो एनालिसिस में हाइपोथेसिस का कोई काम नहीं है बिकॉज आपके क्वेश्चंस बहुत सिंपल थे. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, व्हाई डिड आई आस्क द क्वेश्चन कि बनाना हम पील ऑफ करके खा सकते हैं, उसके लिए नाइफ एंड एक्सटर्नल फोर्स का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. एंड वाटरमेलन हम बिना कट करे, बिना एक्सटर्नल फोर्स का खा नहीं सकते हैं. So that external force or that knife itself is your hypothesis. जब आपको कंक्लूजन मिल नहीं रहा है, जब आपको पता नहीं है जो क्वेश्चन आपने किया है वो क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या आने वाला है, जब आपको पता नहीं है कि वो आंसर आएगा, तो हाउ एम आई सपोज टू एक्सप्लेन, दैट टाइम यू रिक्वायर हाइपोथेसिस. ओके. तो जैसे व्हेन यू लुक एट द वाटरमेलन, यू सी बाहर से वो ग्रीन कलर का है, अंदर से वो रेड कलर का है, अंदर से वो सॉफ्ट भी है. So we were not knowing the result. We don't know कि अंदर actually result क्या है. That time you required that knife to cut it and open out the results. Similarly, जब आपका question complicated है, जैसे I will show you a question, जहाँ पे I had put question where it is किसी का annual income and the price of a travel agency, मतलब price of a tour package. So price of a tour package, मान लो एक tour package is 30,000 का, and what is happening, your annual income is, let's take it for example 5 lakh. So 30,000 का tour package and 5 lakh का annual income. Simple questions है. Would you want to prefer traveling with the tour package which is costing you 30,000 where you have a 5 lakh income? Very simple था. Now I come into details of it. That is, price is 30,000, but इस प्राइस में मुझे टिकट्स भी मिलेंगे, होटल भी मिलेंगे, अकोमोडेशन भी मिलेंगे, क्वालिटी भी मिलने वाले हैं, टूर ऑपरेटर्स भी मिलेंगे. सो क्या हो गया, प्राइस के अंदर फैक्टर्स हो गए, बहुत सारे और सब वेरिएबल्स हो गए प्राइस के नीचे. अब मुझे एनालिसिस करना है कि 5 लाख रुपए से क्वालिटी मिलेगा, टूर ऑपरेटर भी मिलेंगे, प्राइस भी बराबर मिलने वाला है, फूड आई एम गोइंग टू गेट, अकोमोडेशन आई एम गोइंग टू गेट. नाउ क्वेश्चन कॉम्प्लिकेट हो गया. जब क्वेश्चन कॉम्प्लिकेट हो गया, वी रिक्वायर द हाइपोथेसिस. That's why I'm telling you, not every time you will require hypothesis. Not all questions will require hypothesis. So what will happen? There are certain questions जिसपे आपको hypothesis लगने वाले हैं, जिसको आपको analysis करना बहुत मुश्किल होने वाला है without a hypothesis. तब hypothesis का requirement है, otherwise you don't require hypothesis. Okay? So hypothesis generally हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, दो चीजों में करना है, एक null hypothesis and एक alternative hypothesis. And please, one more thing I'm suggesting, that do write the hypothesis in this manner. H सबस्क्रिप्ट में, अंडरस्क्रिप्ट में 0 होना चाहिए, H अंडरस्क्रिप्ट में 1 होना चाहिए. मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट्स और मैक्सिमम इवन PhD स्कॉलर्स वी हैव सीन दैट दे राइट H0 एकदम साथ में लिखते हैं. That is not the symbol of hypothesis. Symbol of hypothesis for a null hypothesis, H अंडरस्क्रिप्ट में 0 आना चाहिए. ओके, ऑल्टरनेटिव में H अंडरस्क्रिप्ट में 1 आना चाहिए. नाउ ऑल्टरनेटिव में अगर एक से ज्यादा है तब क्या करोगे, जैसे लेट्स गो बैक टू द point that we had, that is, मेरा कौन सा hypothesis था, that frequency, there is a difference and there is no difference in the frequency of travel before and after COVID. अब if I say frequency is high frequency, frequency is low frequency, so what is happening, alternative में भी 2-3 आने वाले हैं. जब ऑल्टरनेटिव में 2-3 आ गए तो आप सिंबल क्या लिखने वाले हो, HA1, HA2. तो 1 के बदले में A1 आएगा, A2 आएगा, ऐसे वर्ड्स आने वाले हैं. ओके, सो दैट विल मीन दैट इज योर ऑल्टरनेटिव. ओके, सो दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर हाइपोथेसिस, वेरी सिंपल part of hypothesis. I know it's very difficult to understand hypothesis in one day, that too in few hours. So but once you start reading research papers, you will start understanding what is the hypothesis of the particular studies that people have taken. And there will be a lot of research papers which would not have hypothesis. Why? Because their data are very clear, their questions are very clear, जिसमें hypothesis का जरूरत ही नहीं है. So that's the reason they don't prepare hypothesis. Very simple to that. Now next will come ahead is the review of literature. नाउ रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर लिखने का ना बेसिक ये 3 तरीके हैं. इसके अलावा भी एक और तरीका है विच इज अ वेरी अपडेटेड तरीका, बट ये बेसिक है. बेसिक में क्या है, यू जस्ट राइट द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन. नेम ऑफ द पर्सन में एक्चुअली सरनेम लिखना पड़ता है. तो सरनेम, देन यू राइट इन ब्रैकेट, राउंड ब्रैकेट में द ईयर. कौन से ईयर में ये पर्टिकुलर चीज पब्लिश हुआ था, कौन से ईयर में ये रोट, मतलब इट वाज रिटन डाउन, and then you give a summary of that in your own words. Please give it in your own words. Do not try and copy everything that is there. Okay, then you have to copy the entire research paper only. उसने तो पूरा research paper में बताया था कि उसने क्या किया है. So automatically prepare a summarized version. So if you see, this was just an example taken, that review of literature ऐसे paragraph में लिखना है. And similarly, what do you do? That is, there is one more way where you put a quotation. हम एक कोटेशन डालते हैं एंड उसमें डेफिनेट वो पर्सन ने, बिशप एंड मार्क्स, उन्होंने 2006 में एग्जैक्टली जो बताया था वही हमने लिखा. 90% of all households had at least one television set. तो हमने exactly उनका quoted words लिखे. So even that is possible. But generally what we say, ज्यादा quotations use मत करो, okay? Because you never know कि वो उनका words है कि उन्होंने किसी और ही research paper से लिया है. डेफिनेटली व्हेन यू नो, जैसे इफ आई टेल यू डिमांड का अगर थियोरम बताना है, प्रिंसिपल बताना है, सप्लाई का, इकोनॉमिक्स में डिमांड एंड सप्लाई का लॉज बताना है, वी नो हु हैज गिवन द लॉ, लॉ का एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन क्या है, एग्जैक्ट कोटेशन क्या है. बट व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग अ रिसर्च पेपर, आपको नहीं पता कि आपने जिस रिसर्च पर्सन का रिव्यू किया था उन्होंने खुद ने लिखा है या उन्होंने भी किसी और का पढ़ के खुद से बना के लिखा है. So you don't exactly know. So it is preferably that you write it in this summarized format. That is the reason this one is quoted, highlighted with blue color, because this is the most favorable and the most authentic one where you summarize and you write it yourself. बिकॉज आपको नहीं पता वो कोटेशन उनका था, उन्होंने लिखा है बराबर है, बट उनका कोटेड वर्ड्स था कि किसी और का पढ़ के उन्होंने वो लिखा था. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू राइट इट इन अ पैराग्राफ समराइज मैनर. Similarly, there is one more type. The last one which is there is a combination of the quotation and the paragraph. So we have a paragraph also, we have a quote also. Together we have combined it. Now, a very थोड़ा सा advanced level में, if you want to prepare review of literature, this will be in this format where you have a serial number. Serial number is nothing but 1 2 3 4, कितना papers, कितना review हुआ है. Paper title very important, the name, the topic, कि कौन सा topic का है वो. देन जर्नल पब्लिकेशन डिटेल्स एंड ईयर, कौन से जर्नल में पब्लिश हुआ था या कौन सा वेबसाइट में पब्लिश हुआ था या फिर कौन से पब्लिकेशन हाउस ने पब्लिश किया था. सो दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, कौन से ईयर में किया था. नेक्स्ट, ऑथर्स नेम. एक ऑथर है तो एक, 2 3 ऑथर्स है तो सबका नाम चाहिए वहां पे. ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ देयर पेपर, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव के बारे में हम नहीं बात कर रहे. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट जिसका लिटरेचर रिव्यू आप कर रहे हो जो पेपर का, उनका ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आपको इधर लिखना है. एंड वो भी मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव लिखना है. That person might have 4 5 objectives, but you are supposed to write the main objective. Next, variables considered. जैसे the paper which I showed, variable क्या था, COVID-19 का before and after effect वाला, frequency undertaken. So that was my variables. And what else was there? Age, gender was there. Gender के अलावा there was one more question of important attributes. So those were my variables which were taken into an account. Next, results and findings. तो उस person ने क्या find out किया. And the last one is your remarks. You want to give any remark about the entire research paper that person has given. So that is a remark that you can give. Okay. So that is the only part which you can give. Okay. A remark. But the thing is what? You cannot give any advice over there. Because उनका research paper already publish हो गया है. And it is on a public forum, इसीलिए आप वो research paper पढ़ रहे हो, review कर रहे हो. So automatically remark cannot be taken from there. Next, we have literature reviews. आप कहाँ से ले सकते हो? Library, books and journals, of course. And then again, of course, we are very technologically pro people. So you go to Google and Google में जाके आपको करना क्या है? Rough topic type करना है. जैसे मान लो आपका topic is take it for example, cryptocurrency. So you prepare an entire topic, the study of the growth and challenges of cryptocurrency in India. Big topic. But then what do? क्रिप्टो करेंसी, ये वर्ड को हमने क्या बनाया, रफ टॉपिक बनाया, क्रिप्टो करेंसी, एंड देन वी राइट द वर्ड पीडीएफ करके गूगल सर्च, you will get a lot of researches. Then next what you can do, add the word research at the end of your topic. टॉपिक पूरा देने जाओगे तो कभी नहीं मिलने वाला है, बट गिव दोस कीवर्ड्स, गिव दोस the rough topics, okay? And then what you do is write the word research and enter, and you will get a lot of detailed researches on those topics. Google Scholar is very definite. Googles of different country. Now I really don't know आप लोगों को ये चीज पता है कि नहीं? अगर possible होता है तो I'll show you this. That is just 1 second. I'll try showing you this. Yeah, I hope you can see Google screen. Visible, yes, no?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, okay. So this is basically, what is it? This is Google India, okay? Please know that we use Google India platform. We do not use the overall Google platform, okay? So what do? You just go ahead and you just type Google, and maybe we just want USA, and you just type USA and then you enter. Now, can you see you are getting a part called as Google USA? Yes or no? The first one. I hope visible to everyone. And once I click on this Google USA, my browser changes to Google USA and it's no more Google India. And if you want to search detailed version or topics about particular country, मान लो आप एक particular country के GDP के बारे में कोई research कर रहे हो, मान लो some European countries का GDP के बारे में you are doing a research and you are not getting information. Google search करने पे भी ज्यादा information नहीं मिल रहा है. What do? You go to the Google website of that particular country. That's very important. Because हमें क्या लगता है, I'll give you a very, very definite scenario. In India, we see protest. We see there are a lot of news which keeps on coming. Okay, and we feel foreign countries में तो ऐसा कुछ होता ही नहीं है. We do not get news. Why? Because ज़्यादातर highlighted news ही सिर्फ हमारे पास पहुंचते हैं. Because we are using a platform called as Google India platform, which is not for other countries. इसीलिए हमारे news highlight होते हैं वहाँ पे. But when you talk about other countries ka Google, you can actually get their country's information. So this is a very, very useful Google technique that we have. And if you are doing for different countries ka research kar rahe ho, different countries ka comparison kar rahe ho research ke beech mein, then please try and use this type of a Google platform. It's open access for all hai. इसके लिए कोई सब्सक्रिप्शन लगता नहीं है, कुछ नहीं लगता है, एंड यू कैन एक्चुअली गेट इन्फॉर्मेशन. वेरी सिंपल. एंड कोई भी कंट्री का गूगल आप यूज कर सकते हो, नॉट नेसेसरी एनी कंट्रीज गूगल कैन बी यूज्ड, and you can get their information. Then you just have to type on their Google page pe. That's the only thing. Now coming across, I will go back to the slide and yes. So of course, different countries Google, we already saw that. Next, of course, you have lot of journals and medias that are accessed, like that is ResearchGate, Academia, Emerald, Elsevier, Taylor and Francis. There are lots and lots of journals, lots and lots of what to say, like platforms where you can get them. E-books or unpublished thesis. Now unpublished thesis, बहुत लोगों का thesis publish नहीं करते हैं, बहुत लोग thesis बनाते हैं, PhD बनाते हैं, and उसके बाद they don't publish that, so they can also be your review of literature, not necessarily वो publish ही होना चाहिए. And शोध गंगा Inflibit is one of the major Indian reservoir बोल सकते हैं for theses, for research papers. It has lakhs of researches in it. आपके सारे informations आप मिल सकते हैं from there. So review of literatures के लिए I just gave you some parts of how and where you can find it. Next, coming to it, research gap. Now this is a very difficult topic where you need to find out the gap between your research and the literature review that was done. So पहले लोगों ने क्या रिसर्च किया था और आज के दिन पे आपको क्या रिसर्च करना है बीच में, that is a gap. Okay, so if I tell you, there was a time when India में, so not only India, everywhere in the world, everyone thought that the earth is flat. बराबर. अब this earth is flat. अर्थ इज फ्लैट से लेके अर्थ इज राउंड, ये कंसेप्ट पे आए. फिर अर्थ इज स्पेरिकल, इस कंसेप्ट में आए. ये कंसेप्ट पे भी आए दैट अर्थ, पहले था कि सन रोटेट्स अराउंड अर्थ. Then we came to the concept no, earth rotates around sun. Then we came to the concept no, sun also rotates, sun is also not still. Okay, so all this is nothing but पहले के जो रिसर्च किया गया था, that is very important. लिटरेचर रिव्यू एंड फ्यूचर में आपको जो एक्सपेक्टेड है, what you want to find out, बीच में जो डिफरेंस है, that is your gap. And gap can be anywhere. पॉपुलेशन में हो सकता है, एनालिसिस में हो सकता है, इम्प्लीकेशन, मेथड्स, anywhere gap can be there. Okay, so gap is a very very important part. And जब आपके gap होंगे तब आपका वो यूनिक ओरिजिनल रिसर्च बनेगा, अदरवाइज ओरिजिनलिटी नहीं रहने वाला है, बिकॉज आप किसी और का कट कॉपी पेस्ट करने वाले हो. फिर किसी और ने कुछ गैप बनाया था, वो गैप उसने सॉल्व भी कर दिया उसके रिसर्च के थ्रू. दैट पर्सन हैज सॉल्व द रिसर्च गैप, and if you are taking that topic, that means you are just cut copying paste that person's research. So automatically आपको गैप फाइंड आउट करोगे तब जाके आप कुछ चीजें ओरिजिनल कर पाओगे, ओरिजिनल बना पाओगे. Now chapter 4 is your data analysis, which is the core chapter. Testing of hypothesis will come to this practical part. Then comes the finding and conclusion and suggestions. Now I want to highlight a very important thing over here. The word that we use is suggestion. Findings, conclusions, suggestions. Do not use the word recommendations. Recommendations and suggestions भले ही बहुत similar लगे, but they are not similar. Why? Recommendations हम और आप जैसे लोग दे सकते हैं, सॉरी हम और आप जैसे लोग सजेशंस दे सकते हैं, recommendations नहीं दे सकते. You need to be at a position, at an authority, at a responsible position to give recommendations. Now, if I tell that I have done a research on medical science, I have done a research on the GDP of India. GDP of India में हम और आप जैसे कॉमन लोगों ने एक रिसर्च बनाया, और उस रिसर्च के बाद हमें लगा कि there are certain things we should inform the government. तो हमने हमारे एडवाइजेस लिखे. अब दिस एडवाइजेस रीचेस टू द गवर्नमेंट, ये भी हम मान लेते हैं कि हमने गवर्नमेंट तक हमारे एडवाइस पहुंचा भी दिए, बट फिर भी वो सजेशन है, दे आर नॉट रिकमेंडेशंस. व्हाई? बिकॉज जब आप गवर्नमेंट तक वो चीज पहुंचाओगे एंड गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू टेक एन एक्शन ऑन दैट and give your advices or your suggestions, उसको recommend करेंगे किसी कमिटी को, किसी लोगों पे वो अप्लाई होगा, तब वो recommendations होते हैं. So you should be at a positions to be that authority to recommend something or tell that this is what you are supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do becomes recommendation. And when we say that it is an advice that you can take into account, that is suggestions. जब आप advice देते हो, लेना है तो लो, नहीं लेना है तो मत लो, that is suggestions. That is never recommendations. Recommendations are actually imposing हो जाता है. So we as general people, when we are writing research, when we are contributing to research, भले इंडियन गवर्नमेंट तक वो रिसर्च पहुंचता है, फिर भी they will be called as suggestions until and unless गवर्नमेंट वही चीजें उठा के आपके नाम डाल के वो रिकमेंडेशंस एंड एक्शंस प्लान्स में नहीं डाले. तो प्लीज रिमेंबर, जब आप चैप्टर नेम लिखोगे तो इट शुड नेवर बी रिकमेंडेशन. चैप्टर नंबर 5 will never be recommendation. It will always be suggestions that you are providing to any authority जिसके बारे में आपने ये research किया है. Okay. And of course there will be technical interpretations. Now technical interpretations मतलब data analysis का interpretations रहेंगे. And non-technical interpretations मतलब, जैसे I will give you a very simple example. मैंने मेरे MPhil में research किया था regarding heritage tourism in Mumbai. अब हेरिटेज टूरिज्म इन मुंबई में मैंने एक क्वेश्चन में दो चीजें पूछा था, दो सिर्फ ऑप्शंस थे, सेइंग दैट व्हिच इज अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. ओके, ऑप्शंस क्या था? गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया एंड छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज टर्मिनस. आधे से ज्यादा मुंबईकर्स ने ये लिखा दैट गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया इज अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. बट जबकि मेरा जो रिसर्च था जिस वक्त था, इट वाज दैट छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज टर्मिनस इज अ यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. सो ऑटोमेटिकली दे शुड हैव मार्क्ड ऑन दैट. सिंपल क्वेश्चन था. अब इस क्वेश्चन का नॉन टेक्निकल एनालिसिस है. देयर इज नो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस ओवर हियर. इसमें नॉन टेक्निकल लगेगा. क्या लगेगा? दैट अवेयरनेस इन द मुंबईकर्स और अवेयरनेस अमंग द पीपल रिलेटेड टू वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज इज वेरी पुअर था उस वक्त बहुत पुअर था. बिकॉज आधे से ज्यादा लोगों ने ये बताया गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया इज अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज, जबकि गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया वाज अ इंडियन और अ नेशनल हेरिटेज, नॉट अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? नॉन टेक्निकल इंटरप्रिटेशन हुआ. दैट इज द रिजल्ट विच वाज एक्सपेक्टेड आउट ऑफ एवरीवन डिड नॉट कम. अब नहीं आया इसका मतलब आप छोड़ दो वो क्वेश्चन. दैट इज नॉट अ वैलिड ऑप्शन टू अ रिसर्चर. सो आप वो छोड़ दोगे कि अच्छा मुझे तो लगा था सबको पता रहेगा कि छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज टर्मिनस, विक्टोरिया टर्मिनस इज अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज, बट लोगों ने गलत आंसर फिल किया तो ये क्वेश्चन नहीं लेंगे. नो, लोगों ने गलत आंसर फिल किया है, उसको आपको एक इंटरप्रिटेशन देना रहेगा कि वो क्यों हुआ, व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट. इसका मतलब ये था कि लोगों में वो अवेयरनेस नहीं है, लोगों को पता नहीं है विच वॉज अ इम्पोर्टेंट वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. So that becomes your non-technical interpretations, okay, where you don't analyze the data that you have collected, you don't analyze the numbers that you are having, but you analyze the interpretation कि वो गलत हुआ तो गलत क्यों हुआ, या फिर अगर सही है तो सही कैसे हुआ. So all that non-technical interpretations. Now, linking of your result and hypothesis is very important. Original purpose मतलब objective. Linking of the result, objective and hypothesis is very very important. ज्यादातर लोग क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, हाइपोथेसिस बनाते हैं, बट हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग नहीं करते. जब आप टेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हो तो वो कभी रिलेट नहीं हो रहा है. ना टॉपिक ऑब्जेक्टिव से बराबर रिलेट हो रहा है, ना ऑब्जेक्टिव हाइपोथेसिस से हो रहा है, ना हाइपोथेसिस एनालिसिस से हो रहा है. सो देन व्हाट हैव यू डन? यू हैव डन एवरीथिंग अलग अलग, सेपरेट सेपरेट. So what you are supposed to do? टॉपिक से ऑब्जेक्टिव रिलेट होना चाहिए, ऑब्जेक्टिव से हाइपोथेसिस रिलेट होना चाहिए, हाइपोथेसिस से एनालिसिस रिलेट होना चाहिए, डेटा कंक्लूजन में आना चाहिए कि दिस इज व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, दिस वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड वी हैव फाउंड आउट द ऑब्जेक्टिव, वी हैव डिटरमाइंड दैट द हाइपोथेसिस सो एंड सो हैज बीन प्रूव्ड. on so and so pages or on so and so questions pe we have proved it. It is very, very important to link the results and the hypothesis. Okay. Uh, Now, as I already told you, why the results turned out and the way it did. So वो आपका non-technical interpretation है, जो आपको बताना है कि आपका analysis जो था, वो ऐसा क्यों हुआ, or what is the reason behind it. And again, the last point was provide suggestion, not recommendation, which already I told you. Now, I'll show you one more slide and then we'll go to some small examples. This is also very important, reference and bibliography. Okay. References is what exactly you go through and you collect the information from, which you are going to use in your research. That is references. There are a lot of things which we don't use in our research. Jesse, if I give you an example, that maybe I went to the library and I collected books, and उस books में I wanted to search for my research topic, and my research topic is tourism. अब तक शायद आपको पता चल ही गया रहेगा, because I'm talking so much about tourism, so tourism is my research topic. So tourism के बारे में I search for a lot of books. मैंने सारे books उठाए and सारे books को pages पलट के देखा, and उसमें से 3-4 books में information मिले, एंड वो इंफॉर्मेशन को मैंने यूज किया मेरे रिसर्च में. देन दोज 5 बुक्स बिकम्स माय रेफरेंसेस. ओके. बाकी बुक्स जो मैंने लिए थे, मान लो मैंने टोटल 11 बुक्स लिए थे, तो बाकी 6 बुक्स आर part of my bibliography, because I have searched in those books but I did not get any relevant information over there. Is it clear? So that is a part of your bibliography. And remember, bibliography comes at the end of your research project. जो भी आपका dissertation है, उसका last page में आने वाले है bibliography. Conclusion के बाद you will have a topic of bibliography. Bibliography के ऊपर कोई chapter number नहीं होता है. Even that I am telling you. बाकी दूसरों में what we were doing, chapter number 1 introduction, chapter number 2 research methodology, chapter number 3 review of literature, but bibliography do not has a chapter number. It will just be written as bibliography, and you write all the date, all the books, all the thesis, all the research papers that you have gone through, भले ही वो आपका काम आया था या नहीं आया था. So that is a part of your bibliography. References is, as I told you, you have collected information from there. You have actually used those information in your research. That is a part of your reference. That is the reason ROL chapter के पीछे वो लिखते हैं हम लोग. So ROL chapter के last में you actually use the word references and you put those books or those contents which you have used in your research. Now the question comes is, bibliography में फिर ये references रहेगा कि नहीं रहेगा? रहेगा. All the references that you wrote in review of literature chapter के end में, वो सारे वापस आप लिखोगे bibliography में, because they तो are very important ना, उनसे तो आपने चीजें लिया है, so they are really important. So automatically bibliography will have both the things, जो आपने use किया है sources, जो sources आपने देख के छोड़ दिया है, वो sources भी आप bibliography में you are going to put in. Okay. Lastly, obviously we will have plagiarism check and everything. Now I want to just show you one more thing on the screen. You can already see that. That is Word document का मैंने एक छोटा सा screenshot निकाल के लिया था, which is you have all these tabs: file, home, insert, design, layout, reference. ना ज्यादातर लोगों को मैनुअली फिल करते हैं. ओके. देयर इज ऑप्शन ऑफ filling references. Now I'll try showing you that in a very simple manner, if it's possible. Just give me 1 second. Is it visible to everyone? Yes or no? A Word document, a blank Word document? Yes or no? Yes, okay, great. So if you see on the tab on top, you can see references. Yes or no? So we'll click on references. Simple. So once we go on references, if you see over here, citation and bibliography, this is very important to you. Now stop doing everything manually. Start doing everything what can be done technically. Okay. Now, I'll tell you also why you have to do technically. Now, if you see, the style is given as APA. Now, this is the standard style which we follow in India or as well as in foreign countries also we follow APA standard, okay? Now, you have a lot listed hai, style of referencing. Chicago style is there, then there is different styles which are all given over here. So, the one which we will use is APA style. अब एपीएस स्टाइल में हमें करना क्या है इंसर्ट साइटेशन पे जाना है ओके सॉरी सो विल गो टू इंसर्ट साइटेशन वी विल ऐड अ न्यू सोर्स मतलब यू वांट टू ऐड राइट कि किसका बिब्लियोग्राफी किया कौन से ऑथर का किया कौन सा बुक का किया सो वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड अ न्यू सोर्स द मोमेंट वी ऐड अ न्यू सोर्स आई गेस ऑन योर स्क्रीन यू आर सीइंग देयर इज अ पॉपअप अब इस पॉपअप में ना क्या क्या दिया है टाइप ऑफ सोर्सेज में यू हैव बुक का सेक्शन ओके बिकॉज पार्ट ए पार्ट बी पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 ऐसे भी बुक्स होते हैं ओके सो बुक का सेक्शन देन जर्नल आर्टिकल्स इन पीरियोडिकल्स conference proceedings, reports, everything is there. Now we'll go very simple. We will go for a जर्नल आर्टिकल मतलब एक रिसर्च जर्नल था जिसमें आपने एक आर्टिकल कंट्रीब्यूट किया या फिर किसी एक पर्सन का आप आर्टिकल पढ़ रहे हो तो उसके लिए आपको ऑथर का नाम लिखना है ना ऑब्वियसली ऑथर का नाम एनी नेम ओके right now I can see Rahul sir's name on my screen so I'm going to use Rahul sir's name I hope he doesn't mind for using his name so we will go to edit option so as we go to edit option again there is a pop-up on your screen which shows last name so we are going to use the last name next we'll come to the first name and we'll not put the middle name for now okay and we just add once we add it's already come if you see name has already come okay now we put an okay the moment we put an okay we have got author's name over here I hope it's visible to everyone yes or no okay I've got all yes okay now we come to title now what is this title will be the topic that Rahul sir might have selected okay so we'll for now we are going to give a very simple topic project guidance or maybe research project okay so that was the name of his article next we have is a journal name so let's just give journal name as something some publication house so maybe we'll give Lala's college is their publication house. Lala can have their own publications of proceedings, possible. So automatically, or maybe we'll put Lala college publications. Okay, now coming to the next is the year in which he has written this book or the journal or the article that you are supposed to mention. So let's mention 2023 and the pages from which you have collected the information. So pages can be anything. So just random numbers I'm putting in. Okay, so these are the pages that we have collected from. And we press a show all bibliography field. Can you see there is a show all bibliography field? Now, once you put it, there's so many things to put in. Okay. Now, don't worry. Asterisks are very important. इसके अलावा हमारे पास कुछ और informations होते हैं कभी कभी. That is volume. कि कौन सा नंबर कौन सा वॉल्यूम का बुक है वो जर्नल है सो वॉल्यूम में मे बी इट्स अ थर्ड वॉल्यूम इशू मे बी इट्स अ सेकंड इशू ओके और else what else do we have okay remaining things we'll just skip because that's not so important and we will click on the part of okay The moment we put OK, can you see that you have already got a bracket में Shetty, 2023. So आपको रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर के लिए भी आपको हर बार कौन सा पर्सन है, उनका सरनेम क्या है, उनका ईयर क्या था, देखने का जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज यू हैव क्रिएटेड इट नाउ. Is it clear? Yes or no to everyone? Now, then you can always start writing that Shetty 2023 stated in his research and so and so, and you write the summarized version. Okay. After that, what you do is पूरा सब थीसिस हो जाने के बाद you will require the information. इतना मेहनत से जो हमने इंफॉर्मेशन भरा उसको तो जनरेट कहीं ना कहीं करना ही है. So automatically we will write somewhere last of your chapter when you're preparing bibliography. At that point of time we wrote bibliography. अब हम क्या करेंगे? We will go. पहले क्या किया था? इंसर्ट साइटेशन पे गए थे. अभी क्या करेंगे? बिब्लियोग्राफी पे जाएंगे. बिब्लियोग्राफी and we write over here insert bibliography. Can you see that insert bibliography option? So we'll click on that insert bibliography. Do you see the details that we filled is already there on your screen? Bibliography आपको लिख के तैयार करके जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ा. Information सिर्फ feed in करना था, उन्होंने सब कुछ आपको दे दिया. Now, why did I tell you that we will use this technical tool? The reason is this, because if I highlight this, and 1 second, sorry, that's too big. हाँ, तो if I highlight this, if you see Shetty, R के बाद एक डॉट है, उसके बाद राउंड ब्रैकेट्स है, फिर वापस एक डॉट है, फिर रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट वाज द नेम ऑफ द टाइटल, फिर वापस एक डॉट है, पब्लिकेशन हाउस इज इन इटलाइज फॉर्मेट, फिर एक कॉमा है, फिर 3 वापस राउंड ब्रैकेट है फॉर द इश्यू नंबर के लिए, फिर कॉमा है, फिर यू हैव अ फुल स्टॉप. नाउ वुड यू रिमेम्बर ऑल दिस? कहाँ पे कॉमा डालना था, कहाँ पे फुल स्टॉप डालना था, कौन सा वर्ड को इटलाइज करना था? यू विल, जब आप मतलब सम 50-60 पेपर्स आप पढ़ रहे हो, रिव्यूज कर रहे हो ना, एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम बिब्लियोग्राफी में किधर कॉमा आएगा, किधर डॉट आएगा, किधर राउंड ब्रैकेट आएगा, किधर इटलाइज होगा, कौन सा बोल्ड होगा, ये सब आप भूल जाओगे. So automatically, this is the best option. What we do is we will put it in APS style में, and we will write the bibliography over here. Now मान लो आपको APS style नहीं चाहिए. You don't want APS style. So what do? This was APS style that we performed. Okay. We will just change the style over here. It's already inserted. हाँ, हमने सब कुछ already बता दिया है. Already वो चीजें हो गया है. So now let's, मान लो we want Chicago style. So Chicago में convert किया. And then if you see, Chicago style में convert हो गया. Now we have got inverted comma also in between. राउंड ब्रैकेट था ईयर के बाद में और ईयर के पहले, अब वो राउंड ब्रैकेट हट गया. एपीएस स्टाइल में द नेम, फर्स्ट नेम डिड नॉट कम, सिर्फ आर आया था, इनिशियल आया था, पर अभी यहाँ पे पूरा नेम आ गया है. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट स्टाइल्स, और डिफरेंट स्टाइल्स का डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट है, और ये सारे फॉर्मेट याद रखना इज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल. सो ऑटोमेटिकली दिस आर सॉफ्टवेयर, दे आर टेक्नोलॉजिकल थिंग्स which you should always use, because this is very going to be important for your bibliography and citations. I hope this will help you out. I don't know how much you can process it and how much you can take into account, but I really hope this will help you out. Now, coming to the part that we would be proceeding is the references that I actually shared and showed how to prepare the references with all of you. Next, I would tell you that please, this is a very honest request that I'm doing. Do not write the name of the book. जैसे सब लोग लिखते हैं research methodology, Michael Voss, 2022, Manan Prakashan, publication, done. Khatam. No, please. You have a format of writing. You please need to follow the formats in your research, because you need to provide all the information what is required. Similarly, web pages and website. I'll tell you, मेरे students भी ऐसे ही mistakes करते हैं. They write www.google.com. What is www.google.com? You will get that home page. इसके आगे मैंने आपको दिखाया था home page. Google का home page मिलने वाले हैं आपको. Where have you collected the information from? You need to put that entire website. You can't say that no, I have just collected from Google. No, Google is the search engine. It is not a website or a web page. Please understand. So automatically भले आपका कितना भी huge link बने, but you have to cut copy paste that entire link. That link needs to be pasted in your bibliography. That's very, very important. And websites and web pages के लिए, it's very important you write the date. Because lot of times we have seen websites and web pages को ban कर दिया जाता है, या फिर they have been erased off, या फिर new information have come on that page, so the पुराना information doesn't exist anymore. ऐसे भी web pages होते हैं. So automatically date is very, very important when you write the websites and the web pages, because कौन से डेट में आपने एक्सेस किया था. जैसे I will give an example. In 2017 when I was doing my MPhil, I checked on the pages of UNESCO World Heritage that India में hardly there were some 7 to 8 world heritages. Okay, मतलब natural world heritages I'm talking about. Okay, not the monuments वाले. Later on, in 2023, if I check the same UNESCO World Heritage page, I will find 18 to 20 natural heritages. तो इसका मतलब मेरा information गलत था? No. To prove that your information was not wrong, you are supposed to mention the date. That वो दिन पे वो वेबसाइट में यही इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल था. आज के डेट के साथ वो दिन का वेबसाइट डजंट मैच, एंड इट विल नेवर मैच. इवन फॉर वीडियो क्लिप्स भी आप आपके बिब्लियोग्राफी में रेफरेंसिंग डाल सकते हो कि आपने कोई वीडियो को यूज किया था, कोई ऑडियो को यूज किया था, बट वो वीडियोस एंड ऑडियोस आपने कब एक्सेस किया था. मे बी यूट्यूब से एक्सेस किया था, बट व्हेन, दैट इज वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट कौन से दिन पे वो एक्सेस किया गया था. इट माइट बी दैट वीडियो हैज बीन डिलीटेड, वो वीडियो आपको वापस नहीं मिलने वाला है. सो ऑटोमेटिकली रेफरेंसिंग में दिस आर वेरी, वेरी स्मॉल डिटेल्स, बट रेफरेंस एंड बिब्लियोग्राफी में दिस इज वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको पूरा https:// पूरा वेबसाइट का जो भी लिंक है, that is to be taken into account. Now, if I tell you that my topic is tourism and I write down www.ministryoftourism.gov.in, it will take me to the ministry का गवर्नमेंट पेज. आई अग्री, पर वो मिनिस्ट्री का गवर्नमेंट पेज के अंदर कौन सा टैब मैंने यूज किया, कौन सा लिंक मैंने यूज किया, कौन सा इंटर रिलेटेड टैब्स में मैं गई थी. तो यू नीड टू पुट दैट एंटायर लिंक. दैट इज वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Now before we come to this part, we would actually go on to a very, very small part that is which I want to show you all, is the secondary data. Now, if you see, just a minute. I guess it's visible on your screen. This is again another research which we did, and this is also long back. This is like some 2017-18 के आसपास वाला research है, hopefully. I don't even remember the date कभी का है. But if you read the headline, it says growth of tourism and India's GDP and analytical study. अब मैंने आपको क्या बोला था, एनालिटिकल स्टडी क्या होता है, एनालिसिस करना होता है. बट दोनों टॉपिक जो है, ग्रोथ ऑफ टूरिज्म, इंडियाज जीडीपी, दोनों भी सेकेंडरी डेटा है. का प्राइमरी किधर है, कहाँ है, कुछ नहीं है. तो मैंने क्या बताया था, प्राइमरी डेटा इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, सेकेंडरी डेटा पे भी हाइपोथेसिस करना पॉसिबल है. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू शो यू, दैट सिंपल टू स्टडी द ग्रोथ ऑफ टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री इन इंडिया. ये तो है ही सेकेंडरी। अब to study the relations between growth of tourism and rise in India's GDP, even this is secondary. तो आप बोलोगे हाइपोथेसिस किधर बनाए, तो बन गया हाइपोथेसिस, उसी को लेके बनाया। नाउ अगेन एज आई टोल्ड यू, हाइपोथेसिस एक ही हाइपोथेसिस है, दिस इज वन, ऑल्टरनेटिव और नल मिला के एक हाइपोथेसिस है। So मैंने क्या लिखा, सिंपल वर्ड, there is no significant relation between growth of tourism and India's GDP. There is a significant relation between growth of tourism and India's GDP. Simple. No relation, there is a relation. इतना ही किया। अब ग्रोथ ऑफ टूरिज्म का, जीडीपी का डेटा कलेक्ट किया, इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट किया, टेबल्स बनाए, सब कुछ किया। अब क्या किया, उस हाइपोथेसिस को टेस्ट भी किया। if you can see that hypothesis was also tested. Okay, so क्या किया, डेटा था ना, इंफॉर्मेशन था, स्टेटिस्टिक्स था, तो जीडीपी का करंट वैल्यू भी ले लिया, as well as we have taken the tourist का current prices also. Okay, so total tourist का काउंट वाइज प्राइस मतलब टॉपिक भी ले लिया। so ये दोनों को यूज करके we found a segment of correlation. अब automatically what is happening, significant level, this is very important to see, significant level में answer has come as 0.000, which means significant level के below है 0.05 was the significant level. I hope all of you are aware about that. 95% of confidence level सोशल साइंस रिसर्च में 0.05 होता है, एंड साइंटिफिक रिसर्च अगर आप करते हो तो 0.01 होता है। Now, why is it 1 and why is it 5? Because social science research में ना human behavior, human answers might change. मैंने आज, मेरा मूड खराब था तो आंसर मैंने कुछ और दिया, कल मेरा मूड बहुत अच्छा है तो आई माइट गिव अनदर आंसर। अब मुझे मान लो, मुझे पूछा गया था दैट do you want to, just a simple question, that do you like using a fountain pen or a ball pen? तो मेरा बहुत क्रैंकी सा मूड था, फाउंटेन पेन का इंक गिरता है, ये होता है वो होता है, सो आई जस्ट सेड नो, आई हेट इंक फाउंटेन पेन एंड इंक पेन। बट कल मेरा मूड बहुत ही अच्छा है मान लो, एंड कल मुझे आके किसी ने बोला कि आई वांटेड टू गिफ्ट यू अ फाउंटेन पेन, एंड आई एम लाइक ओह वाओ सो नाइस, थैंक यू सो मच, मूड चेंज हो गया ना। सो मूड, बिहेवियर, सोशल साइंस में हमेशा ह्यूमन बिहेवियर, नेचर, पैटर्न पे डिपेंड करता है वो लोग आंसर क्या देने वाले हैं। आप सवाल कैसे करते हो उस पर भी डिपेंड करता है आंसर कैसे मिलने वाला है। सो ऑटोमेटिकली देयर कैन बी एन एरर, okay, that error is nothing but that 5% wala error, okay, 0.05 wala concept, okay. Similarly scientific research में error actually होना नहीं चाहिए, and अगर एरर होता है देयर इज अ बिग goof up होगा फिर वो। सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज 0.01%, मतलब 1% का एरर का चांस हम देते हैं, पर अगर नहीं हो देन दैट इज द बेस्ट थिंग। बिकॉज व्हाट, साइंटिफिक रिसर्च में व्हाट विल यू, मे बी आप कोई मेडिसिन इन्वेंट कर रहे हो, मे बी आप कोई इंजेक्शन इन्वेंट कर रहे हो, मे बी आप स्पेस में कुछ एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हो, मे बी आप कोई एनिमल्स के ऊपर ब्रीडिंग का कुछ कर रहे हो, एंड इफ the research goes wrong, then there can be a whole lot of chaos and problem which can happen. Maybe वो जो medicines आपने research करके बनाए थे, वो medicines देने के बाद if someone dies in that, then you are held responsible for that. So automatically scientific research में, that's the reason 100% results होना चाहिए, वो 99 भी नहीं, 100% results होना चाहिए। And social science में you can have that 5% का अगर errors होते भी है तो भी वो manageable है। Why? Because human behavior है, human tendencies है, human के nature है, patterns है, okay, so that can also happen. So as I told you that 0.005 00 है the significance level p value. So automatically what will happen is that the p value, if you see, the result came as the p-value is 0.000, which is less than the significant value of 0.05. Therefore, the researcher can reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a significant relation between the growth of tourism and India's GDP. अब मुझे बताओ, ये चीज हमें पता नहीं था क्या? We knew this, that tourism is going to contribute to India's GDP. But हमने हमारा रिसर्च पेपर को थोड़ा अपग्रेड करने के लिए, थोड़ा बेटर दिखाने के लिए एक हाइपोथेसिस बना दिया उसी चीज पे. एज वेल एज हमने क्या किया, we prepared a testing on that, and testing करने के बाद we realized that there is a significant relation है. जैसे टूरिज्म सेक्टर ग्रो करेगा वैसे इंडिया का जीडीपी भी ग्रो करेगा. But that was very common sense. We knew that common sense, but still we tested and we found out. तो क्या किया, जो टॉपिक था, टॉपिक got related to objective, objective related to hypothesis, hypothesis related to testing and analysis, testing related to conclusion. That this is what happened, and this is how the conclusion was drawn, that the researcher also stated that travel and tourism sector has gradually raised its contribution towards India's GDP during the previous 5 years. So I concluded with the objective that I prepared, and hypothesis bhi relate kiya. So this is a basic thing that I wanted to share and show that secondary data is also possible. Apart from that, I wanted to share one more thing. That is, this is one of my students' research project, and this is what I was talking about, the executive summary. Executive summary, आप पूरा everything detail नहीं लिखते. We write very basics in the executive summary, and then you start with chapter 1, and then we go on to chapter 2. Now, obviously, this was done long back. So there were certain things which have skipped, or certain things which are not there over here. So I would preferably go back to the PPT, and I'll show you certain topics that is there. Okay, 1 second. There's some thing due to which I couldn't share the slide. Yeah, I hope it is visible. Actually, I can't see, so that's what. I hope it's visible, yes or no? Okay. So we spoke about objectives, we spoke about hypothesis. Now I don't think so we need to speak any more about objective and hypothesis, but scope. Now there is very minute difference. एक है scope और एक है significance. I hope both you can see on your screens. Yes or no? Please just let me know that you can see both on your screens. So now what is scope and what is significance? Similar है, एकदम similar है. Okay, significance is importance of your study, where it is going to be used, and what is the current importance of your study. When you talk about scope, scope is also importance only, but in the future, what scope are you giving others to do research on your topic? मतलब अभी मान लो मैंने एक टॉपिक किया on a particular topic, let's take it for performance. जैसे I told you, financial performance of steel industry. अब financial performance of steel industry का current importance क्या है in India's maybe scenario or in the economy. So that is your significance of the study. अब आपका टॉपिक था financial performance of steel industry in India. Now, इसका future scope क्या है? Futuristic इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है, फ्यूचर में इस चीज को लेके कोई और क्या रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज योर स्कोप ऑफ द स्टडी. सो स्कोप इज एनीथिंग इम्पोर्टेंस रिलेटेड टू फ्यूचर. Significance is anything related to the importance currently in that scenario. Currently उस चीज का क्या importance है. I hope I'm clear with this. Yes or no? Next, of course, you have limitations of the study. Limitation of the study में ना बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ लिखते हैं, but I don't prefer writing a lot of limitations. I'll tell you why. Because when you write a lot of limitation, it shows that to some extent आपका credibility या आपका incompetency दिखाता है वहां पे, that कि आपको नहीं आता था या कर नहीं पाए. Okay, so try writing limitations which are valid limitations, which are very very important. Just if I tell you that when I did this research, the GDP wala which I showed you right now, that is nothing but a research where, sorry, that is nothing but a research which is based on secondary data. तो मेरा limitation क्या हो सकता है, that I have not used any primary data to gather this information of the GDP growth and the economy. And the tourism sector. So that can be my limitation. Okay, so don't try putting everything and anything in limitations, because that then shows the defaultness or the incompetency that you had. So try putting limitations, maybe limitations, मतलब try restricting your limitations. जो genuine है, जो ज़्यादा problematic limitations है, उसी को डालो. जैसे I remembered when I did a research, जैसे कोविड वाला मैंने आपको दिखाया, कोविड के टाइम पे when I did a research, ऑटोमेटिकली आधे से ज्यादा लोगों ने आंसर किया कि हम ट्रैवल करना ही नहीं चाहते, हम जाना ही नहीं चाहते, tourism is not an important thing right now. So that is a limitation, that people did not wanted to travel due to COVID. So that type of limitation, try putting limitations which are valid to your topic, instead of putting random limitations of time नहीं था, पैसे नहीं थे, resources नहीं थे, मुझे 3 महीने में कंप्लीट करना था इसीलिए छोटा बनाया, कम किया. No, those are not actually limitations. Beyond that, you have genuine limitations. So put genuine limitations, okay? Next is type of research. We have already discussed about type of research. Type of research में जितना मुझे लगता है, जब आप प्राइमरी डेटा वाले रिसर्च करते हो तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आपको क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा आ ही जाता है. कुछ लोग रहेंगे जो क्वालिटेटिव में आंसर करेंगे, प्रेफरेबल, नॉट प्रेफरेबल ऐसे बोलेंगे. कुछ लोग जो नंबर्स वैल्यूज में बोलने वाले हैं. सो क्वालिटेटिव, क्वांटिटेटिव एज वेल एज सोशल साइंस तो है ही हमारा रिसर्च का डोमेन एरिया. So that is going to be a part. Apart from that, आप ऑब्जर्वेशन कर रहे हो तो एम्पेरिकल आएगा, एनालिसिस कर रहे हो तो एनालिटिकल आएगा. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, जब आप टाइप ऑफ रिसर्च वाला वर्ड लिखोगे, सेगमेंट लिखोगे, नॉट नेसेसरी दैट आपको एक ही टाइप लिखना है. यू कैन राइट all the types that are getting used. 4-5 टाइप भी अगर यूज होता है तो भी आप लिख सकते हो वो all 4-5 टाइप्स. Then what is population and sample? Population is again going to be the universe or the target population जिसको हम बोलते हैं. If I talk tourism में target population कौन है? All the tourists. Okay, whether India में है, बाहर है, foreign में है, कहीं पे भी है, everyone is a target population. What is my sample that I wanted to collect? वो यूनिवर्स था, everyone. Then target population आए where it is मुंबई के टूरिस्ट को देखना है. Then we come to sample. मुंबई में भी मैंने 400 डेटा कलेक्ट किया तो 400 लोग मेरे सैंपल है. इज इट क्लियर? सो सैंपल इज द स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट दैट यू पिक अप फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्स, ओके, फॉर योर रिसर्च. Then of course you will have a sample size. Now sample size is again a very big topic to explain. I can just give you a brief about it, that अगर आपका social science research है and 1 lakh पॉपुलेशन, टारगेट पॉपुलेशन से ज्यादा है, ठीक है, मतलब वो व्हेन आई से मुंबई में ऑल टूरिस्ट को माय रिसर्च इज बेस्ड ऑन ऑल टूरिस्ट ऑफ मुंबई. मुंबई में 1 लाख से ज्यादा लोग टूरिस्ट है, सो ऑटोमेटिकली आई हैव अ target population which is more than 1 lakh. Therefore, my sample size should be more than 384. Now ये कैसे आया 384 सैंपल से ज्यादा होना चाहिए? दैट एक्चुअली हैज अ फॉर्मूला, यूनिवर्सली एक्सेप्टेड फॉर्मूलाज है, एंड वो फॉर्मूलाज पे आप नंबर्स डाल के देख सकते हो। एंड मेजॉरिटी जितने भी आप लोग रिसर्च करने वाले हो, यू गाइस आर गोइंग टू डू ऑन कंज्यूमर्स और ऑन मे बी tourists, or you might be doing on some companies, some employees, maybe on professors, on teachers, on students. So आपका टारगेट पॉपुलेशन बियॉन्ड 1 लाख होने ही वाले हैं बाय डिफॉल्ट. सो यू कैन एक्चुअली यूज द सैंपल ऑफ बियॉन्ड 384. 384 से ज्यादा होना चाहिए आपका सैंपल साइज. एंड एरिया विल बी वेर एवर यू आर कलेक्टिंग. मुंबई है तो मुंबई का भी डिविजन्स होंगे. साउथ बॉम्बे कलेक्ट किया कि फुल बॉम्बे कलेक्ट किया, थाने, कल्याण, वेर एवर यू कलेक्टिंग. सो यू पुट अ डेफिनेट एरिया कि कहाँ से कलेक्ट किया. एंड आई नो व्हाट हैपेंस इज यू ऑल फॉरवर्ड ऑल दिस गूगल फॉर्म्स एंड गूगल क्वेश्चन फॉरवर्ड कर दिया एंड सबने भरा, ऑल ओवर इंडिया सबने भर दिया. ओके, बट देन जब हमें सैंपल एरिया बताना रहता है तब you actually filled in a proper area. That's the reason research is supposed to be done manually and not on an online basis. Online में जाके send कर दिया. So where are you going to get the research sample and who is going to be your authentic sample? And I'll tell you honestly what will happen. जब आप Google form circulate करोगे, लोग बिना पढ़े ही question के answers दे देंगे. Then what will happen? Your entire sample can go wrong. That is the reason we always insist कि better है कि आप manually जाके Google form fill up करवाओ. You can fill up the Google form, but going manually and filling it up instead of just circulating all over and getting a response which is not even valid to your information. Then we have sampling techniques. Again, these are very huge topics. Sampling techniques में you have probability, non-probability techniques होते हैं. Probability is where you have a definite population. मतलब मान लो कि मुझे एक particular definite population मतलब where you know the exact number of people. So exact number of people, if I tell you that मुझे लालास कॉलेज के सारे फैकल्टीज के ऊपर रिसर्च करना है, then I have a definite number of faculties. Okay, so that becomes very, very specific and very, very definite. Now, when as I say Lala's college के ऊपर research करना है, then that is not a research study. It is a case study research. रिसर्च का भी एक सेगमेंट होता है विच इज कॉल्ड एज केस स्टडी, बिकॉज आप एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में बात कर रहे हो या आप एक पर्टिकुलर इवेंट के बारे में अगर बात कर रहे हो इन योर रिसर्च, देन इट बिकम्स अ केस स्टडी रिसर्च. इट इज नॉट अ रिसर्च एनालिटिकल स्टडी. Again, data collection, questionnaire, methodology, data analysis tools and techniques. Actually speaking, I had prepared the data analysis part, but we do not have so much of time, and I'm actually running very late, I guess so. So that's the reason. I don't know how much it's possible. But before we go ahead, these are your formats, okay? These are actually screenshots from the pages that you all actually have. This will be shared to all of you, the formats of your thesis or your dissertations, how you are supposed to get the certificates, the declaration by the learner, मतलब by you, acknowledgement का model structure, index कैसे होना चाहिए, index का numbering का भी systems होते हैं. This is also a different kind of research. This is internship based research. जिन लोगों ने internship किया है NGOs में, charitable organizations or private agencies or companies or firms, wherever you have done researches, so there is a requirement minimum 20 days होना चाहिए, 100 hours का internship, either one. Minimum 20 days मतलब 20 multiplied by 8 working hours, so you actually have is 160 hours. Either that or 100 hours of internship होना चाहिए. Okay, so that is internship. Then theme can be based on the relative, again, study area of your topic. Obviously internship के लिए you will be given a limited pages, which is like minimum 50 pages होना चाहिए, थोड़ा restriction कम है. सर्टिफिकेट मैंडेटरी है. जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम किया वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नीड्स टू गिव यू अ एक्सपीरियंस certificate, as well as we also validate on the appointment letters or on your appointment का जो भी आप letters मिलते हैं, internship के letters मिलते हैं, उस पे भी validate करते हैं. And उसको लिखने का अलग ही तरीका होता है. You again have an executive summary that was same. Introduction of the company, which is again going to be about the company where you have worked. Then you will have the mission, vision of the organization, which is going to be very easy. Your role in the organization during internship. Now, this is the most important thing. What work you have done. एक दो लाइन में लिखना नहीं है, 50 पेजेस बनाना है, so automatically एक दो लाइन में वो कभी नहीं हो सकता है. So you have to mention each and every detail of your work, how you have handled them. अगर कोई problems थे, challenges थे, उसको कैसे overcome किया, everything needs to be written, and then you can put a conclusion and a suggestion. Again, suggestions, no more recommendations but suggestions. Now coming to the next, that is managing your research. Now this is again going to be real important. That is, how do you maintain it? Maintain a diary, a task list. Keep everything saved on your drive, or you have a backup file. Now I'll tell you why I am insisting on backup file, because this has happened with me during my MPhil dissertation. This actually happened. My entire laptop crashed just before my submission. Not only that, my Google accounts were also being hacked and seized. So automatically drive पे रखने के बाद भी मेरे पास कोई option नहीं था, because Google account seize हो गया था. So please have a backup. Backup मतलब send it to someone else and keep it, or keep it in a pen drive, or keep it in some other laptop maybe also. Start storing your information. That is very important. That is real important thing that you are supposed to do. Now before I wind up, I want to show you certain things. I know it's going to be real late, but really it's going to be very
not at all. It's not late. It's perfectly all right. It's going great.
All right. Okay. Because I wanted to show them the testing part. So that's the reason.
We can show nominal statistical tools. That's okay.
Yes. Okay, nominal statistical tools. Okay, fine. Okay. I hope all of you know how to prepare a questionnaire on Google. Google form कैसे बनाते हैं? I hope all of you are aware about that. Yes, no? Most of you are aware? I guess so. Yes, I have got all yes. So pretty much, if you know how to prepare a Google form, then that's the best thing. So you know a lot, that means. So we'll go to one of my Google form, which I have it already. And this is not what I prepared. This was just a formality, like previous workshop के लिए मैंने ये बनाया था. So this is nothing but, and I made 9 people fill this form. So once you fill the questions which are there with you, once you fill those questions, you have a responses sheet that you get. Now, generally what happens is, if you can see the screen properly, then you will see there is a copy option. And this copy option is actually going to give you the entire pie chart copied. So you don't have to do any work. So what you do is, you prepare a Google form, and उस Google form में आपने बराबर questions डाला था. And वो बराबर जो questions डाले थे, उसका जब response आने के बाद, you will obviously get pie charts and histograms, and you might have graphs also, depending on what type of a question you have asked. So you just copy from here. Please simple copy करो. And ये simple copy को आप Word document में paste कर सकते हो. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करना है. And if you want to see a demo of that, even I'm showing you that also. So this, as I told you, this was one of my students' project. And if you see, can you see? Everything has been copied from Google. So once you copy, you get the entire pie chart. I hope it's visible to all of you. Yes or no? And once you copy this, it's very simple. You just need to write down. that 80% of them considered, so this was on cryptocurrencies, so 80% of them consider the best currency is Bitcoin. 8.6% consider the best currency is Ethereum. So automatically all this is nothing but a small analysis of the graph that you received from your Google form. So Google form जो बनाया उसको इधर से copy करो. Now once you start to drag this will never come. So you have a copy option, click from here, you will get it. Now ज़्यादा मेहनत करना है, so by default इसको क्या करना है, Excel sheet. व्यू इन शीट्स में एक्सेल शीट ओपन करेंगे, एक्सेल से हम लोग फिर बार चार्ट, पाई चार्ट वेरी नाइसली ब्यूटीफुली बन के आएगा. एक्सेल के अपडेटेड वर्जन्स में 3D स्टाइल्स में भी चार्ट्स बन के आएंगे. सो दैट कैन बी ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, बट अदरवाइज इफ यू रियली वांट टू skip that part, you can always take it from here, always. Now if you see एज में मैंने क्या, एज में दो तरीके का क्वेश्चंस डाले थे. Now age has a question which says short answers. When I have put this option of short answers, the response has come in this histogram manner. I hope it's visible. किसी का 8 साल का उम्र था, किसी का 18 साल था, 19 साल में 2 लोग थे, 20 साल में 2 लोग थे, 26 में 1 थे. So they have put their numbers, and there's one student of mine who just experimented with 1000, so automatically 1000 डाला है उसने. So what has happened? That this type of a chart you're going to get. Now I changed the question का pattern into age. Below 18, 18 to 30, 31 to 45, above 45. So I've changed the answer ka options ka pattern. So my response will also change. And response में कैसा change होगा? If you see pie chart बन गया. So below 18 वाले कितने हैं? Sorry, 18 to 30 वाले कितने हैं? 7. Below 18 एक भी नहीं है. Above 45 2 है. So if you see there is a pie chart. So जैसे जैसे आपके क्वेश्चन के ऑप्शंस बदलेंगे वैसे वैसे आपके चार्ट्स या ग्राफ्स अलग बन जाएगा. Okay, you will have a difference. Now this is a bit complicated graph. क्यों कॉम्प्लिकेटेड ग्राफ है ना, इसका डेटा ना कभी मैच नहीं होने वाला है. यहाँ पे कितने रिस्पॉन्स थे? 9 रिस्पॉन्स. इफ यू सी 7 पीपल वॉज 18 to 30 के बीच में, 2 लोग बिटवीन अबव 45. टैली हुआ नंबर 7 + 2 9. टैली हुआ कि रिस्पॉन्सेस 9 रिस्पॉन्सेस थे. बट सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन क्वेश्चन एड में देखेंगे. क्वेश्चन सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट हेरिटेज इन इंडिया, इसमें ना मैंने बॉक्सेस डाले हैं, मल्टीपल चॉइस बॉक्सेस. इसको गूगल में हम बोलते हैं चेक बॉक्सेस. चेक बॉक्सेस का ऑप्शन डाला है. इफ यू सी, कैन यू सी चेक बॉक्सेस ऑप्शन है. तो चेक बॉक्सेस यहाँ पे आपको सब मिलेगा. मल्टीपल चॉइस मतलब ये सर्कल वाला है जो ऊपर का एज का मैंने दिखाया था. चेक बॉक्सेस मतलब ऐसे बन के आएगा, बॉक्सेस में आएगा. And you are allowed to write any option. 2-3 ऑप्शंस भी आप लिख सकते हो. So family, friends, social media, मैगजीन, ट्रैवल एजेंसी, अदर्स भी रखा मैंने, अदर वाला ऑप्शन भी रखा. नाउ source of information about heritages in India, I have come to know from social media. फैमिली ने बताया, फ्रेंड्स के पास से पता चला, कोई मैगजीन में रीड किया था. इट कैन बी ऑल राइट. मैं सब में टिक मार्क कर सकती हूँ. So what will happen when you start tick marking on all, you will never get a tallied version. If you see, फैमिली कितना काउंट बोला है? फैमिली का काउंट इज 8. फ्रेंड्स कितने लोगों ने बोला है? 8. यहाँ पे तो 16 हो जाता है. देन देयर इज नो टोटल टैलिंग काउंट. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. यहाँ पे टोटल टैलिंग काउंट कभी मैच नहीं होने वाला है. 9 लोगों ने रिस्पॉन्स दिया है, बट 9 लोगों ने 3-4 ऑप्शंस में रिस्पॉन्स दिया है. सो इट इज पॉसिबल, okay, that this data will go beyond the frequency of 9. I hope that is clear to everyone. Similarly, which heritage have you visited in Mumbai? तो मैंने 3-4 लिखा था, हेरिटेज 5 लिखा है, पांचों में से 5 ही आप गए हो, ट्रैवल किया है, तो पांचों को टिक मार्क करोगे, तब जाके आपका क्या हो जाएगा, 9 रेस्पॉन्सेस कभी टैली नहीं होने वाला है. So don't be very डरो मत उससे. Don't be scared about that. These are multiple, or you can talk about checkbox kind of a system answer, जहाँ पे आपको frequency अलग मिलने वाला है. Okay, and which is not wrong, which is not at all wrong. Okay, now coming to the part that's simple. सिंपल एक क्वेश्चन किया गया था, आर यू सेटिस्फाइड बाय ट्रैवलिंग टू हेरिटेज प्लेसेस. सिंपल, ये क्या किया है, 5 पॉइंट स्केल में प्रिपेयर किया है. ओके, नाउ आर यू सेटिस्फाइड बाय ट्रैवलिंग टू हेरिटेज प्लेसेस में स्ट्रांगली सेटिस्फाइड, सेटिस्फाइड, न्यूट्रल, डिससेटिस्फाइड, स्ट्रांगली डिससेटिस्फाइड, ऐसे मैंने 5 सेगमेंट्स रखे. ओके, 5 आंसर्स रखे. नाउ आर यू सेटिस्फाइड बाय ट्रैवलिंग टू हेरिटेजेस में सिंपल आंसर हो सकता था यस नो, पर हम इतना सिंपल चाहते नहीं है, बिकॉज वी आर डूइंग अ रिसर्च वेर वी वांट टू नो द जेन्युइननेस ऑफ दैट. तो इसीलिए स्ट्रांगली सेटिस्फाइड, सेटिस्फाइड, न्यूट्रल, मतलब आई डोंट वांट टू गिव एनी ओपिनियन, सेटिस्फाइड भी नहीं थी, डिससेटिस्फाइड भी नहीं थी, इट वाज ओके ओके था. डिससेटिस्फाइड थे या स्ट्रांगली डिससेटिस्फाइड, मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आया. ओके, सो दैट इज स्ट्रांगली डिससेटिस्फाइड. सो वी हैव गिवन देम ऑप्शंस टू आंसर. ओके, सो दिस इज नथिंग बट अ 5 पॉइंट स्केल का सिंपल कैलकुलेशन. अब 5 पॉइंट स्केल का ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कैलकुलेशन हो सकता है, and that complicated calculation I don't know whether I'll be able to show you. This is because it is on a different software. वो सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेस बराबर होगा कि नहीं, that I'm not aware, but I'll try then to for this. Just 1 second. Okay, actually there is a different software and it's not allowing me to open it. It's SPSS, which is the software. It's not letting me open on the screen. So I'll try showing you some other software if possible. Is it visible to you? Yes or no? There is a software. Is it visible?
No, we can see only the graphs, Paulami.
Only the graphs? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes. So what happens is, वो जो हमने graphs की बात की, graphs and the questions that we spoke about. So जब वो question है download करोगे तो you will have something like this. Okay. Now this is a different question है. Don't think वो दोनों same question थे, दोनों नहीं है. This is a different questionnaire and इसमें we had questions like age, your gender, marital status, current profession. So ऐसे different questions है. तो ये सारे डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस आपको ऐसे ही दिखने वाले हैं, जो ऑप्शंस आपने दिए थे उसी हिसाब से आपको देखने वाले हैं. तो उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, इसको कन्वर्शन करना है. कन्वर्शन मतलब सिंपल लॉजिकली आई विल टेल यू, एकदम सिंपल मैनर में. मान लो वी टॉक अबाउट जेंडर. सो जेंडर में we will go and you have given only 2 options. Let's take it for example. Gender में हमने option दिया 1 which is a male 2, which is a female. Now you can put 1 female also, 2 male also. That is your wish which you want to put. So 1 and 2. तो मैंने क्या categorize किया यहाँ पे? If you see, this is actually a software called as MyStat. It is a student version software है. ये आप free of cost download कर सकते हो. And इसमें कैसे होगा? आपको ना Excel से सिर्फ कॉपी करना है. So Excel में आपका क्या डेटा था यहाँ पे? That gender. So this was the data that was shared. That Excel में gender was male and female. So male and female का ये जो gender है, यहाँ से what you are supposed to do is nothing but you have to take all this information, copy it on that MyStat वाले सॉफ्टवेयर में. इस सॉफ्टवेयर में आप एक ही कॉलम में, जैसे एक्सेल में आप एक कॉलम में कॉपी करते हो, वैसे ही कॉपी करोगे आप. ओके, सो सिंपल. मैं एक कोशिश करती हूँ दिखाने का, अगर पॉसिबल हुआ तो. लेट्स सी. Let's just copy this one. This is named as machine and all, but let's just copy this. I hope it is visible to all. Yes or no, the Excel as well as MyStats. Please let me know if it is visible, not visible.
It's visible, ma'am.
Visible. Okay, great. So now यहाँ पे वेरिएबल लिखा है. VAR मतलब वेरिएबल. इस पे हम क्या करेंगे? ये सॉफ्टवेयर आप लोग फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. इसका लिंक आई कैन ऑल्सो शेयर कि डाउनलोड करना किधर से है. नाउ दिस सॉफ्टवेयर में व्हाट यू डू इज यू जस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट इट. मैंने अभी छोटा सा एक कॉपी किया तो वो उसको कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया. जैसे कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया, वेरिएबल का नाम पलट गया विच बिकेम 10 एंड यहाँ पे सारे ना डेसिमल में आ गए. 1.00, 2.00. डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. इसका टेंशन नहीं लेना है, ठीक है. सो व्हाट डिड हैपन दैट वी हैव गॉट एन इंफॉर्मेशन. अब इस इंफॉर्मेशन को ना आपको नीचे डेटा व्यू दिखेगा एंड वेरिएबल व्यू दिखेगा. उस वेरिएबल व्यू में जाना है एंड दिस वन इज नथिंग बट इट वाज आवर जेंडर. So gender, you are going to type this. The moment you type gender, you will have values, levels है, and you will have value levels. अब value levels मतलब they mean to say ये जो आपने 1 2 लिखा है, इस 1 2 का मतलब क्या है, किसको पता रहने वाला है 1 2 का मतलब क्या है. So automatically, I guess they are not taking it because it's the same name, but this let's just write your gender and yeah. So now what is happening? वैल्यू लेवल्स दिया है. वैल्यू लेवल्स में मतलब वो जो 1 and 2 मैंने कॉपी किया, उस 1 and 2 का क्या मतलब है. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी 1. 1 का मतलब इधर मुझे लिखना है, 1 का मतलब मेल था. ओके, देन एंटर. वंस यू प्रेस एंटर यू विल गेट 2. 2 में क्या है? वैल्यू नंबर 2. वैल्यू नंबर 2 का नाम क्या था? दैट इज फीमेल. तो वी कन्वर्टेड कि वैल्यू नंबर 1 is male, value number 2 is female. So we have given a conversion. Now automatically speaking, ये बहुत सारे information थे, बहुत सारे data थे. ऐसे आपको create करना है. जब आप Excel download करोगे, Excel से you can go over there and you can create it. Now मेरे already 2 created versions थे, उसमें से ही I'm going to take right now. So इसमें क्या करेंगे? Analyze पे जाएंगे और इधर क्या है? Frequency. जो फ्रीक्वेंसी हम उधर कैलकुलेट कर रहे थे, सिंपल फ्रीक्वेंसी कैलकुलेट करेंगे. फ्रीक्वेंसी में लेट्स टॉक अबाउट, ये ऑलरेडी किया हुआ था. सो नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट जेंडर. जेंडर का फ्रीक्वेंसी चाहिए हमें, मतलब कितने लोग मेल थे, कितने लोग फीमेल थे. नॉट योर जेंडर वाला कैटेगरी. हाँ, प्रीवियस वाला जो टॉपिक जेंडर था ना फर्स्ट कॉलम में, उसको काउंट कर रहे हैं. सो नाउ इसको मैंने क्या किया? फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, काउंट एंड परसेंटेज एंड पियर्सन काई स्क्वायर. ओके, अब पियर्सन काई स्क्वायर करने के लिए एक और वेरिएबल चाहिए. तो मान लो जेंडर के साथ प्रेफरेंस करते हैं. प्रेफरेंस में नाउ बिफोर वी स्टार्ट विद दिस लेट्स सी वेरिएबल प्रेफरेंस. सेकंड वाला वेरिएबल प्रेफरेंस है. इसमें क्या था? 1 2 3 ऐसे ऑप्शंस थे. अब हमें चेक करना है वेरिएबल वाला व्यू में प्रेफरेंसेस का नाम क्या था. सो पहला वाला था प्रेफरेबल, दूसरा वाला था न्यूट्रल, तीसरा वाला था नॉट प्रेफरेबल. ठीक है, सो ऐसे मैं करके रखी थी. कि 1 कैटेगरी जो है प्रेफरेबल है, 2 कैटेगरी क्या है न्यूट्रल, दे डोंट वांट टू से प्रेफर था नहीं था, 3 कैटेगरी क्या है नॉट प्रेफरेबल था. सो ओके किया. नाउ वी विल गो टू एनालाइज. एंड फर्स्ट वाला फ्रीक्वेंसी. फ्रीक्वेंसी में लेट्स सी काई स्क्वायर करना है तो जेंडर एंड प्रेफरेंस ये दोनों ले लिया. जेंडर एंड प्रेफरेंस लेने के बाद यहाँ पे सिलेक्टेड वेरिएबल में जेंडर एंड प्रेफरेंस दोनों दिखा रहे हैं. इस पे हम क्या करेंगे, काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट को भी टिक मार्क कर दिया एंड ओके किया. जिसे हम ओके करेंगे वी विल गेट an answer. If you see कितने मेल थे 21, कितने फीमेल थे 21, टोटल काउंट कितना था 42, परसेंटेज क्या है 50%, 50%, जेंडर इज 50%, 50%. काई स्क्वायर का क्या है पी वैल्यू, इट्स मोर देन 1, ओ सॉरी मोर देन 0.05. इसका मतलब प्रेफरेंस एंड जेंडर में कोई रिलेशन नहीं है. भले ही आप मेल हो या फीमेल हो, आपका प्रेफरेंस इज नॉट गोइंग टू मैटर वेदर यू आर अ मेल और अ फीमेल. बट अगर तो पी वैल्यू जब मोर देन 0.05 होता है वी एक्सेप्ट द नल हाइपोथेसिस. तो नल हाइपोथेसिस क्या था, नो प्रेफरेंस पे होगा. So there is no preference, no difference between male and female having a particular preference. Male भी वही prefer करते हैं, female भी वही prefer करते हैं. ऐसे topic होगा वो. No significant difference, no relation, no association वैसा वाला होगा. बाकी सब में क्या होने वाला है, बाकी सब में simple, बाकी सब में you will have is. Let's go and let's find out. If you see this one also, Pearson chi-square for preference, again this is also more than 0.05. इसका मतलब कोई preference male female में difference नहीं था in preference. Okay, now when I talk about a complicated question में मतलब where I have taken one more question, sorry. Yes, let's go back to the main sheet. Yes. तो इस मेन शीट में मैंने ना वेरिएबल्स बनाए थे. अब इफ यू सी वेरिएबल्स का लेवल्स आर रिटन, ओके. तो उसमें क्या क्या था, एक में लिखा है रीजनेबल प्राइस ऑफ टूर पैकेज, एक में लिखा है डिस्काउंट ऑफर्स ऑन टूर पैकेज, कंपेयर प्राइजेस, सेफ एंड सिक्योर, इजी एनालिसिस, टिकट्स, ऐसे सब लिखा है. अब इस सब का भी फ्रीक्वेंसी चाहिए ना, तो फ्रीक्वेंसी के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, वापस एनालिसिस में जाएंगे, सिंपल फ्रीक्वेंसी लगाएंगे. अब का स्क्वायर हटा देते हैं, काउंट्स एंड परसेंटेज रखते हैं, सब रिमूव कर देते हैं, इसको जेंडर को भी रिमूव कर देते हैं एंड वी वांट सिंपल परसेंटेज. सिंपल परसेंटेज में मान लो वी वांट द सिंपल परसेंटेज ऑफ दिस वेरिएबल. नाउ आई शो यू व्हाट इट इज. सो सिंपल परसेंटेज frequency distribution for reasonable price of tour package. Reasonable price में this was actually a count of 700 people. तो 700 लोगों में से extremely important reasonable price होना चाहिए, extremely important है. कितने लोगों ने बोला 355, परसेंटेज कितना आया 50% above. Important है 293 लोगों ने बोला है, परसेंटेज 41. Moderately important 33, तो परसेंटेज कितना है 5%. स्लाइटली इंपॉर्टेंट 14 है 2%. नॉट एट ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट कितने लोगों ने बोला है 3 लोगों ने, तो 0.4%. So if you see, you will be able to get the frequency and the percentages from here. Frequency percentages इधर से आपको मिल जाएगा. Similarly, graph. If you see, ऊपर एक टैब है called as graph. तो मुझे मान लो एक छोटा सा सिंपल सा पाई चार्ट चाहिए ऑन दिस फ्रीक्वेंसी. तो मैंने क्या किया, इसी चीज का मैंने एक पाई चार्ट बनाना है. नाउ इस चीज का पाई चार्ट, सिंपल सा एक पाई चार्ट. नाउ ओके, सो दिस हैज कम वेरी स्मैश्ड अप विथ ईच अदर, पर जगह नहीं था. सो पाई चार्ट में क्या है, एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट पाई चार्ट, then moderately important. Now this, as I showed you, आप गूगल फॉर्म से भी कॉपी कर सकते हो, एक्सेल में भी आप खुद बना सकते हो with the numbers and the data values, okay, as well as you can take it from here also. ये तो थोड़ा confusing आ गया इधर with the letters, but otherwise it comes. Now you want a complicated pie chart or a histogram मान लेते हैं, बार चार्ट. कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कैसा चाहिए, लेट्स सी. मुझे मान लो पहले आई वांटेड अ बार चार्ट में ऑब्वियसली यू विल हैव एन एक्स एक्सिस एंड अ वाई एक्सिस, बराबर. अब एक्स एक्सिस वाई एक्सिस चाहिए था मुझे, तो मैंने जेंडर एक्स में डाला, प्रेफरेंस वाई में डाल दिया, अब ओके प्रेस किया, सो आई गॉट अ बार चार्ट. ओके, बेसिकली दैट प्रेफरेंस प्रेफरेबल था, न्यूट्रल था, नॉट प्रेफरेबल था, मेल फीमेल जेंडर वाइज. आई गॉट अ चार्ट. ओके, नाउ इसको थोड़ा और अगर हम कॉम्प्लिकेट करते हैं, मतलब थोड़ा डिफरेंट करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, दैट इज यहाँ पे एक्स एक्सिस में मैंने जेंडर रखा था, तो एक्स एक्सिस में जेंडर को रहने देते हैं. वाई एक्सिस पे मैंने प्रेफरेंस रखा था, वाई एक्सिस को हटा देते हैं. अब यहाँ पे ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल, ओके, एक्स को भी हटा देते हैं पहले. ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल मतलब, ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल मतलब कैटेगरीज. जैसे जेंडर में कैटेगरी है मेल फीमेल, एजुकेशन में ऑल्सो यू विल हैव अ कैटेगरी विच विल बी व्हाट, विच विल बी दैट कोई एचएससी पास है, कोई एचएससी पास है, ग्रेजुएट है, मास्टर्स है, सो यू हैव कैटेगरी. ओके, सो दैट इज ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल. सो जेंडर को मैंने ग्रुपिंग में डाल दिया. अब प्रेफरेंस, प्रेफरेंस को मैंने एक्स एक्सिस में डाल दिया, वाई एक्सिस को छोड़ दिया. नाउ लेट्स सी, सी चार्ट थोड़ा अलग बन गया ना, काउंट पे बना चार्ट. दैट इज मेल का प्रेफरेंस अलग बना, फीमेल का प्रेफरेंस अलग बना. डिड यू सी? सो यू कैन चेंज योर चार्ट. पहले भी हमने मेल फीमेल जेंडर एंड प्रेफरेंस लिया था, पर वो क्या किया था, एक्स एक्सिस एंड वाई एक्सिस पे लिया था. बट ये वाला हमने क्या किया, ये वाला को हम ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल, मतलब अलग अलग ग्रुप का अलग अलग चार्ट बनेगा, ऐसा बोला. तो we got separate charts, separate bar charts for male and female का preference पे. I hope this is clear. I know this is too fast and too difficult to grasp in one day, but I guess इतना clear है. Okay, sir has given me a thumbs up. Others are messaging and people are saying yes. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now coming to this part, I wanted to show you one more thing. That is going to be a simple normal chi-square test. Now, can you see there is a part called as non-parametric test? Okay. Now, why we are talking about non-parametric and all that is a very long discussion. But when you do not have metric data, मतलब न्यूमेरिकली वैलिड डेटा जब आपके पास नहीं है, तो आपको नॉन पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट अप्लाई करना पड़ता है. ओके, इतना समझ लो, ठीक है. मतलब इट विल बी दैट व्हेन योर हाइपोथेसिस is not in normal distribution. अब normal distribution is also another big topic. So please understand, जब आपका hypothesis का ना बेल शेप कर्व होता है, वो बेल शेप कर्व जब नहीं बनता है ना, तो इट इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. तब हम ये नॉन पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट बनाते हैं. अब नॉन पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट में ये जो क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट है ना, दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ व्हाट टू से काई स्क्वायर. नाउ काई स्क्वायर का एक फैमिली है, उस फैमिली के अंदर लोग रहते हैं. दे आर लाइक मैन विटनी टेस्ट, क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट. ओके, देन देर आर लाइक विलकॉक्सिंग, फ्रेडमैन, ऐसे बहुत सारे टेस्ट है. सो काई स्क्वायर का पूरा जो फैमिली है, फैमिली के अंदर के लोग है ये सब. अब लोगों के कैसे चेंजेस होने वाले हैं, मतलब टेस्ट सब कैसे करोगे, दैट इज काई स्क्वायर के अंदर अगर आप मैन विटनी यूज करते हो, तो आपको ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल, अभी मैंने बताया कैटेगरी ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल सिर्फ 2 होना चाहिए, सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2. तो ये जो मेल फीमेल वाला कंसेप्ट है ना, मेल फीमेल में आपका दो ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल है, इसका मतलब मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट यूज होगा। 2 से ज्यादा हुआ, जैसे ही 3 आ गया, फिर वो क्या हो जाएगा, क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट हो जाएगा। सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, काई स्क्वायर का फैमिली मेंबर्स है। फैमिली मेंबर्स में पहला फैमिली मेंबर कौन है, जो है मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट, जो बताएगा कि अगर 2 ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल है तो आई विल डू द टेस्ट फॉर यू। ओके, अगर 3 ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल है या 4 5 6 जितने भी ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल है, तो क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट लगेगा, बट ऑल ऑफ देम आर पार्ट ऑफ काई स्क्वायर, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड। तो हम ये काई स्क्वायर पे क्लिक करेंगे, जैसे ही क्लिक करेंगे बहुत कुछ आ जाएंगे। ओके, सो वी विल सी अभी क्या करना है। तो हम ये जेंडर को लिया है एक वेरिएबल, ना सॉरी, जेंडर इज नॉट अ सॉरी, ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल। सो ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल में हमें कौन सा लेना है, जेंडर को लेना है, बिकॉज जेंडर इज इन कैटेगरी, जेंडर इज इन ग्रुप। ओके, सो ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल में लिया जेंडर को, प्रेफरेंस को किधर लिया, सिलेक्टेड वेरिएबल्स में लिया। ओके, ना ओके प्रेस किया। अब ओके के बाद इफ यू सी, कैन यू सी ऑन द स्क्रीन, वी हैव गॉट क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट लिख के आया, बट नीचे आंसर क्या मिला है, मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट। कैन यू सी मैन व्हिटनी यू टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स मिला है, yes or no? I hope it is visible to all. Yes, no, anyone which is not visible? यस, ओके। सो क्या हुआ, मेरे पास 2 ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल था, एक मेल और एक फीमेल, इसीलिए मेरा ये मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट यूज हुआ है। एंड मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट का अगर देखो, नीचे लिख के भी आया काई स्क्वायर अप्रोक्सीमेशन, तो इसका मतलब काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट ही यूज हो रहा है, जस्ट दैट वो हमने डिवाइड कर दिया। जैसे मान लो अगर 2 लोग खाने पे आएंगे तो ये पर्सन खाना बनाएगा, 3 लोग 4 लोग आएंगे तो क्रुस्कल वॉलेस बनाएगा, तो वैसे। तो मैन व्हिटनी इज जब 2 ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल होता है। क्रुस्कल वॉलेस किधर यूज कर सकते हैं, जैसे मान लो इनकम, एडुकेशन, एडुकेशन में बहुत सारे कैटेगरी होने वाला है। इनकम में यू विल हैव वेराइटी ऑफ इनकम स्लैब होता है, इनकम टैक्स का डिफरेंट इनकम टैक्स स्लैब होगा। तो इसका मतलब एक 2 स्लैब्स में तो होंगे नहीं कि मान लो a person who is rich, a person who is poor, no, right? So you will have slabs, मान लो 5 लाख, 10 लाख, 20 लाख, 30 लाख, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्लैब्स है, बराबर। तो उस बेसिस पे 4-5 अगर हमारा ग्रुप बनता है, तो इसका मतलब वी कैन यूज द क्रुस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट। Now I'll show you Kruskal Wallace also. इसके पहले ये जो मैन व्हिटनी टेस्ट का p वैल्यू आया है, इफ यू सी 0.000 आया है, इसका मतलब p वैल्यू क्या हो रहा है, सिग्निफिकेंट हो रहा है, लेस देन है ना, लेस देन सिग्निफिकेंट वैल्यू ऑफ 0.05। तो इसका मतलब नल हाइपोथेसिस को रिजेक्ट करना है। नल हाइपोथेसिस क्या था अपना, दैट इज मेल फीमेल does not have the, sorry, no significant difference of male female with the preference category। अब क्या बोल रहे हैं, 0.000 है, तो इसका मतलब सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस है दोनों में। जब मेल प्रेफरेंस देते हैं तो एक अलग लेवल में देते हैं, फीमेल देते हैं तो अलग वे में सोच के देते हैं, तो देयर इज सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस। क्या हुआ, ऑल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस सिलेक्ट हो गया, ऑल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस एक्सेप्ट हो रहा है, तो नल हाइपोथेसिस रिजेक्ट हो रहा है। ओके, नाउ लेट अस सी एक क्रुस्कल वॉलेस वाला टेस्ट, अभी उसी में ही जाएंगे हम, नॉन पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट क्रुस्कल वॉलेस। क्रुस्कल वॉलेस में जाके अभी हम क्या करेंगे, इस सबको रिमूव कर देंगे एंड वी विल टेक, जस्ट लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल दैट मे बी वी विल टेक एनुअल इनकम। मैंने एक और बनाया था, तो एनुअल इनकम ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल में डालते हैं एंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट वो जो थोड़े पहले किया था रीजनेबल प्राइस वाला, उसको डाल देते सिलेक्टेड वेरिएबल में एंड ओके। नाउ if you see what has happened, that is grouping variable एनुअल इनकम था। ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल देखो इधर लिख के भी आया, कितने ग्रुप्स है, 4 ग्रुप्स, 1 2 3 4 4 कैटेगरीज है। अब 4 कैटेगरीज हमें मिला किधर से, दैट ऑल्सो आई विल शो यू। यहाँ पे जब रीजनेबल एनुअल इनकम था, एनुअल इनकम पे मैंने वैल्यू लेवल्स डाले थे और लेवल्स पे 4 लेवल्स रखे थे। लेस देन 2.5 लाख, 2.5 लाख टू 5 लाख, 5 लाख टू 10 लाख, 10 लाख एंड अबव। तो 4 कैटेगरी पे मैंने एनुअल इनकम को डिवाइड किया था। लोगों ने इस 4 कैटेगरी पे आंसर किया है, तो इसीलिए ये 4 कैटेगरी के वजह से वो काई स्क्वायर का क्रूस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट में आ गया। ओके, नाउ क्रूस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट जो हमने देखा था उसमें हम रिटर्न जाते हैं एंड लेट्स सी क्रूस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट में 4 कैटेगरीज, जैसे हम बैक आ गए 1 2 3 4 4 कैटेगरीज। एंड डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल क्या था, रीजनेबल प्राइस ऑफ टूर पैकेज। मतलब टूर पैकेज कितना डिपेंड करता है ऑन योर एनुअल इनकम। सो उसका हमें क्या मिला है आंसर, इफ यू सी पी वैल्यू। अब देखो पहले वाले में क्या आया था, मैन विटनी। इफ यू सी ऑन टॉप ऑफ योर स्क्रीन यू विल सी मैन विटनी यू टेस्ट आया था। अभी आंसर क्या आया है, क्रूस्कल वॉलेस टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स आया है। व्हाई, बिकॉज मोर देन 2 ग्रुप्स बन गया है अभी। तो पी वैल्यू इज व्हाट, पी वैल्यू इज 0.019, less than 0.05. So automatically what happened is, again there is a significant difference with or a significant relation between the income and choosing a रीजनेबल प्राइस ऑफ द टूर पैकेज। तो टूर पैकेज और इनकम में रिलेशन है। अगर आपका इनकम कम है तो आप कम वाला टूर पैकेज चूज करोगे, अगर आपका इनकम ज्यादा है तो आप यूज कर सकते हो, ज्यादा वाला भी आप परचेज कर सकते हो। सो दैट इज अ लॉजिक। ओके, तो क्या हो गया, नल हाइपोथेसिस रिजेक्ट हो गया एंड ऑल्टरनेटिव एक्सेप्ट हो गया, दैट देयर इज अ significant relation in the annual income and the reasonable price of a tour package. तो ये कुछ सिंपल टेस्ट है, काई स्क्वायर में ही सिंपल से टेस्ट है विच इज मैन विटनी एंड क्रूस्कल वॉलेस। बहुत सारे और तरीके के टेस्ट है, but again they are going to be very complicated, very difficult हो जाता है। Now I'll just show you correlation में एक बार, correlation में simple correlation, this is actually a diagrammatic correlation है यहाँ पे, sorry one second, this is simple scattered plot वाला correlation आएगा। So we'll click on that and let's see what we can do is we'll remove everything। पहले तो सब कुछ remove कर देंगे हम and we will see the part of correlation. Now this is a diagrammatic correlation. Actually this one is not giving me a number value. Now let's see annual income जो अभी लिया था क्रूस्कल वॉलेस में सॉरी उसी को लेते हैं, कॉलम में रखते हैं एनुअल इनकम। यू कैन पुट इट रो कॉलम, कहीं पे भी डाल सकते हो, जिस कॉलम पे या फिर रो पे ही डालते हैं हम एनुअल इनकम को। एंड अभी जो रीजनेबल प्राइस ऑफ टूर पैकेजेस लिया उसको हम कॉलम में रखते हैं and let's see what do we get out of this. If you see we got a diagram, now we got a scattered plot. Okay, and the scattered plot is giving us definite answers. Okay, and they have given a circular answer also. Okay, now this is all graph explanations hai. I'll try seeing agar we can show you the variance, but which is okay. Okay, so one second. Now, again, we put row mein, we are going to allocate the same annual income And again, we are going to put the same, which is going to be column में. We are going to put the variable 3 count डालेंगे. And let's talk for not counts and let's talk for percentages. Okay. And let's see what we can get out of this. And we will also have chi-square in this as well. Now, as I told you, chi-square का बहुत variety होता है. Chi-square, Pearson chi-square, likelihood ratio chi-square, बहुत सारे sectors होते हैं chi-square में. And that is again another big topic to discuss about. You'll just press OK. And now if you see, you have got the Pearson chi-square test. Now, what is it? If you read this option very carefully, chi-square test of association for annual income and reasonable price of tour package. Association का मतलब similar to relation. That is there any association between the income and the reasonable price? Is there any relation between the income and reasonable price? So automatically P value is 0.000, which means there is a relation. P value कम हो गया, 0.05 से कम है, so automatically null hypothesis मतलब वो no वाला factor को reject कर दिया, and what happened is that there is an association between annual income and reasonable price. Reasonable price of the tour packages. Is it clear? Now, what is this DF? DF मतलब degree of freedom. Degree of freedom मतलब ये जो blocks दिख रहा है आपको, हर एक income बोलो, ये जो सारे particular you talk about extremely important, moderately important, ये जो सारे नंबर ब्लॉक्स आपको दिख रहा है एक्सेप्ट फॉर टोटल एंड एन वाला कॉलम छोड़ के, ये जो ब्लॉक्स है बीच वाले, ऑल दिस ब्लॉक्स आर गोइंग टू गिव द वन पर्टिकुलर आंसर को फ्रीडम टू मूव इन अदर कॉलम्स. जैसे इफ आई से लेस देन 2.5 लाख, एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट में भी जा सकते हैं, इंपॉर्टेंट में भी जा सकते हैं, मॉडरेटली इंपॉर्टेंट, स्लाइटली इंपॉर्टेंट, नॉट एट ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट, दे कैन मूव अराउंड इन एनी पर्टिकुलर बॉक्स. सो कितना फ्रीडम का डिग्री है? दैट इज गोइंग टू बी 13 फ्रीडम का डिग्री है. इसका भी फॉर्मूला होता है, वैलिडेशंस होते हैं कैसे डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम फाइंड आउट करते हैं, बट दिस इज जस्ट अ बेसिक आइडिया. Now I don't know, I have left out on something or missed out on something. But
no, Ptolemy, I think yes, all facets are covered.
All taken across. So that's where I wind up with the topic, and I know I took a lot of times.
No,
Sorry.
but it was lovely. It was lovely having you here. I request Pooja to kindly take over. Are you there, Pooja? She has joined in from the mobile. Pooja or Gargi, if you can
Yes,
have.
sir. First of all, thank you so much, ma'am. It was lovely session and you explained each and every part very nicely. It was very clear. So thank you once again. Now I would request Gargi to take over the Q&A session.
If there are any questions from the students who are attending online from the Zoom or through YouTube, are requested to post their queries or questions. I know it was a little heavy dose, but fine. Sometimes these doses are okay for PG students.
Last went on too heavy. I know that. It's very fast hua.
No, but if RM last year was done thoroughly, probably this shouldn't have been the problem.
Yeah, probably they would understand the pointers. Any queries, anyone on the Zoom chat box, if any?
You all can put up your queries.
You all can also unmute or raise your hand so we can unmute you. There is a question, ma'am, from Ikra Kacha. Hello, ma'am. Can we take a sample size? The questionnaire thing of 50 or 100.
See, in a questionnaire, since you are at an MCom level, you don't need to figure out 50 questions. That's a lot of questions. So questions can be 10 to 12 questions. And when you talk about a dissertation, even at an MCom level, I would suggest you more than 100 would be better. 50 is a very small number to analyze any particular event or any particular, like if you're considering 50 as a sample size, you can't definitely get any answer out of it. 50 people can be your friends and they can give you the answers what you were expecting out of it. So that doesn't become any authentic or in general, it is not genuine also. So try and getting an outreach of more than 100, which I would suggest, preferably more than 100, so that you have a better research to present, and try and getting it from people who are not known to you, because once you know those people, they also know your mentality, they know what type of a research you are doing, what type of a questionnaire you are trying to figure it out. So automatically try and get it from someone who is unknown to you. They would give you better answers, better results to your research. So 100, more than 100 would be preferable.
There is one more question in my personal chat box. If secondary research, then is it necessary to use these tests? Can we use some simple tests?
So basically, these are the most simple tests, okay? Chi-square, Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis, and correlation. I guess Rahul sir would agree with me that these are the most simplest tests that we actually have. And on that note, if you are not using hypothesis, then you can have a simple frequency percentage charts and a graph thesis also, or dissertation also. So even that is
was
possible.
shown, sorry to interrupt. I think the one research paper that was shown at the initial start, which was having secondary research and the necessary tabulations of percentage formulations were done. I think that could be much easier for students of MCom if they are not able to do chi-square or correlation.
Yes, right. I rightly told. Frequency, percentage, and graphs. You can prepare graphs always. So that is possible.
Any more questions? Gargi?
No, sir. There are no more questions in the chat box.
Okay.
So thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Maya Hande, ma'am, to propose the formal vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think the ma'am voice is not audible.
Is it audible, sir, now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. A research journey becomes pleasurable and a true learning process when proper guidance and direction is given to the students. Today's workshop on Mcom project work has really provided a detailed guidance to our all PG students. My heartfelt thanks to our speaker, Dr. Paulomi Sarkar Madam, for giving minute details about the Mcom project work. Madam, the session has been very informative, and I must say that you have taken care that students understand each and every part of the project work. It will surely help our students in the project work. Madam, I must say that you have made the job of our students as well as the mentors so easy, madam. You have not only motivated them to do the project work, but your session will definitely motivate them to pursue PhD in future, madam. My gratitude to the management of Vivek College of Commerce, Lala Lajpat Rai College, Principal Dr. Neelam Arora Madam, Principal Dr. Vijeta Shetty, IQAC Coordinator Mrunmai Gura Madam for their constant support and motivation. I thank Mcom Coordinator Dr. Rahul Shetty Sir, CA Pradeep Bhati, all the teachers in the organizing committee, and all the staff who have helped in the organizing the workshop. My special thanks to Jyoti Singh Madam for offering the technical support. My big thanks to the student coordinators, Pooja Tiwari, Gargi Dhawde, Pooja Gopawat, for helping in organizing the program. Lastly, I thank all my Mcom PT students. Being a Sunday, they are present in large number to take the benefit of this workshop. Finally, I thank God for his blessings in smooth conduct of the program. Thank you to each one of you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rahul sir, for giving me this opportunity. Really, thank you so
thank
much.
you. Nay, thanks to you, Polami, for sparing your Sunday with us. You are on vacation and still you have been with us. It was really an insightful session. So I once again thank you, Maya madam, for being there. Thank you so much. And I request everybody to kindly